Nice computer. Sure you know how to use it.
Gay on NBC Twin Bill next Sunday. First at noon Eastern.
The following is a sports presentation of Blazer Broadcasting and Post Up Productions.
The Blazers are testimony to the...
Portland Trailblazers basketball is being you every day.
What song is it? Alien adventures for your mind.
Everyday people.
Portland Trailblazers basketball is closed caption through a generous grant from Fred Meyer. Eye on the game with Blazers assistant coach Jim Ian.
Minnesota has one of the bigger front courts in the league. They go 6'11", 6'10", 6'11". And within that group is Kevin Garnett, whose uniqueness at the small forward position defies conventional matchups. He's too quick for a bigger guy and too long for a smaller, quicker guy. And what Minnesota does do is a terrific job of getting him the ball in operating position for regardless of what matchup you put on him. What Minnesota likes to do is to set Garnett up at the top of the key and set a back pick for him, enabling him to come off the pick and first look for the lob, and if not there, he circles back to the low post where he can take advantage of a smaller defender, and if it's a bigger defender on him, he'll step out and face the basket from about 15 feet and be able to attack the slower, bigger defender either way. You'll see Minnesota give you a lot of different looks. They'll run a lot of different sets, give you a lot of different formations, but inevitably what they will do is they'll get very simple and try to take advantage of Stephon Marbury's ability to break the defense down off the dribble. He's a terrific player with the basketball, tough to contain, can take the ball to the rim, and he does a good job of finding their open shooters. What they'll do is they'll spread the court in a 1-4 situation with Marbury at the top of the key. He'll attack his man head on and is able to go either way. As he attacks the seam of the defense, the shooters circle up and try to get the defense drawn into the ball and thus opening up three-point shots or in for their shooters. If Marbury does attack the rim and your big guy comes to block, their big guys are well-schooled at step into the ball for easy dunks and dishes. The key tonight is individual defense. We need not get broken down off the dribble when possible, but more importantly, not get caught up in the matchup game. We like to think of our defense as a team defense. It's not one-on-one, but it's 1-on-5. For Minnesota to do the job against tonight, they have to beat our overall team defense. That's very important.
H2O in a solidified form. When heated, becomes liquefied. Any questions? I invented static electricity. A transistor replicates the amount of thrust produced by a jet engine.
People who love what they do just do it better. Alaska Airlines, for the same price, you just get more.
With AT&T Digital One rate, this isn't just any phone. It's my, hey, Rob, how's the powder in Utah phone? My I'll take red. No, make that teal phone. My how are you doing in college phone. My can you deliver the piano on Tuesday phone. My Casey's gotta go phone.
The world of wireless has changed. AT&T Digital One rate. No roaming or long distance charges across all 50 states. So now AT&T could make your wireless phone your only phone.
What do the world's greatest snowboarders drink? The same thing as the not-so-great ones.
One way to thaw winter in the upper Midwest is with some red-hot hoops. The T-Wolves call Minneapolis home, and it's cozy warm these days. The Twin Cities. This is where the Igloo is, the Target Center, and the Blazers, their third stop in 3 nights on the road against the 8-4 Timberwolves. Eddie Doucette along with Michael Thompson while the snapper's away, and nonetheless, we still have the snapper's keys.
Well, tonight, Eddie, you got to be physical with Minnesota. Like Jimmy Iron says, they're big up front, but they're all finesse players. Garnett, Garrett, and Joe Smith. So attack them physically. Number 2, defensive pressure in the backcourt and all over the floor, really, because Stephon Marbury is really their main ball handler. The rest of the guys are kind of suspect. Number 3, attack the basket. They're big up front. That means they're good shot blockers. So you can't go in there half weak. You got to go in strong, or else they will get a lot of block shots on you.
Couple things to keep in mind about the Wolves. They score points. They're the second highest scoring team in the NBA at 98-3. They don't make many mistakes. They're the number 1 team in fewest turnovers at 12.5 a game. They move and pass the ball. They're number 1 in assists at 26.2 per game. And their coach, Flip Saunders, has done a terrific job concentrating on offensive rebounds with their number 3 and their number 1 in the NBA in assists to turnover ratio, 2+ to every 1. That's a good basketball team, and it's coming of age, and 2 of their 3 stars should be seniors in college. Arvydas Sabonis with Mike Dunleavy didn't get a lot of minutes in Charlotte. They wanted to save the big minutes for this game because he's always played well against the Timberwolves. He had a career-high 20 rebounds the last time they played last March. So this could be an interesting game, a big test for the Trailblazers. This is one of those games where you have to dig down and come up with everything you got. I know that may sound trite, but when you've played 3 games, 3 nights in 3 cities, and your 4th game in 5 nights on the road, and you've had some tough games and some big deficits to overcome, you got to test yourself to see what you got left.
Well, Eddie, you're absolutely right, but what you have to do now is you got to overcome that mentally, because if you come into the game thinking I'm tired, you lay around the hotel all day telling yourself you're tired, you're going to come into the game with a tired attitude. So you just got to come out, suck it up, and say, hey, man, this is what Paul Allen is paying us for. Let's go out here tonight, give it our best effort, especially on a deep team like this, because you know you don't have to play for 40 minutes.
Blazer tickets are on sale for this Tuesday, March 2nd, against the Western Conference champion Utah Jazz. If you saw them dismantle San Antonio today, you know exactly what we mean when you say they're champs. Blazer tickets have never been more affordable. For tickets, call 797-9600 now. Representatives are there to take your orders. 797-9600 Utah at Paul's Place on Tuesday night. Here are the starting lineups brought to you by Godfather's Pizza. Graham, Walt Williams, Rasheed Wallace. Now they've made a change. Wallace replacing Williams, and Arvydas Sabonis in the lineup with J.R. Ryder and Damon Stoudamire. So Wallace and Sabonis are in. Walt Williams out. Big people up front for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Smith 6'10", Garnett 6'11", and Garrett in the middle 6'11". And they start Coney Island Marbury at one of the guards at 6'2". And they will have Anthony Peeler back there, believe with him. That is correct. Peeler at 6'4". So they're big. Immediately they go down to Arvydas, and Damon, who has had a difficult time shooting the ball on the road trip, misses the first opportunity. And they were sinking off of him to debate him a little bit, see if he can take the shot.
Well, if they're going to do that, he's got to go up and shoot it. He can't be hesitant and start thinking about it.
And that is Garnett over Rasheed Wallace. That should be a good matchup for the Trailblazers. Rasheed 6'11", Garnett 6'11".
Yeah, two of the more athletic 6'11" guys in the league.
Two of the young stars in the league.
Yeah, they were drafted one right after the other. Garnett was drafted 4th, and Rasheed came in at 5th.
Look at how they doubled Sabonis from the top to get help. And there's a beautiful lead inside from J.R. Ryder to Rasheed Wallace. Beautifully done, and you can see already what Minnesota's planning for Sabonis. Because he has been so dominant against them, they're going to double down from the top or wherever they can, maybe from the weak side. Ryder out ahead to Stoudamire. Drop lead feed to Grant. Excellent execution, and the miss by Brian Grant.
Well, that's a classic example there. Brian sort of hesitated on that pump fake and he missed the shot. You drive to the basket. You got to go strong tonight. They've got some jumpers out there all over the court.
And the Blazers will bring it up. 2-2 with tie and just underway. And boy, I hope you're buckling in for what we think could be a good game. And hopefully the Blazers have got some energy left from this rigorous trip. Ryder should have some. He didn't play yesterday. He was suspended. And look at the block out inside by Garrett.
Yeah, plus JR is back here. You know, he came into the league in Minnesota, so, you know, he has a lot of old friends still up here watching these games. So I know he wants to put on a good show tonight. Let him see that he's still a heck of a good player in this game.
Well, they call a foul on Brian Grant. So he's got one. And here's Coney Island Marbury down into the hole. Marbury just turned 22 last week. And on the turn, the miss by Garnett, and the Blazers bring it up. Stoudamire, Brian Grant with a pull-up. Hard off the back iron to J.R. Ryder. There are those fresh legs, and he misses. And it's 2-2.
Well, JR, of course, like you said, had a night off last night, and I thought he was going to come over early to the arena and get some early jump shots, and he didn't do it. There's Team Garrett. He's capable of knocking that shot down. That's just about his range, Eddie, about 15 feet.
Drafted originally by Phoenix in the 2nd round, 38. Spent his early year here, then went over to Denver as a free agent, and then they re-signed him this year. Actually, they had to trade for him to get him back, but he was the piece in the middle they thought they were looking for.
Spent about 7 years playing in Europe before he came back to the NBA.
In a while. Arvidas looks good in his. He's got a 3. And Garrett just kind of shaking his head as if to say, I knew he could do that. Why didn't I cover him? And it's now 5-4 Blazers. And Garnett off that little pin down, whistling a foul call. And it could be on Rasheed trying to break through the screen.
You know, that's the thing about Kevin Garnett, a guy his size, 6'11". Like Jimmy Iron says, he's so quick to be that big, and he comes off screens at 6'11". You don't expect a guy that big to just pull up and shoot a jump shot like a Walt Williams would at his size, but he's very capable of doing that. He's a unique player, Ed.
Should be a senior in college. Came right out of high school, played at Farragut Academy in Chicago. Put on a little weight, but not much. He's got one of those lean basketball bodies that'll serve him well when he gets a little older. He won't be one of those fellas that gets real heavy and thick.
No, his body fat must be around 2.5%.
2.5%. Is he breathing?
I bet it's probably around 5 to 6%. And could be no higher than that.
I have that much body fat in my kneecap. Yeah. 5-5 the score. Ryder, drop back, step down, dump it into the hole. Arvidas. Beautiful pass, Sabonis to Rasheed Wallace. Now that was magnificent. He looked left, and then he no-looked it into the hands of Rasheed, and Rasheed with a room service dropper. And it's 7-5. Inside, Smith. And he's got 2.
Well, excuse me, Eddie, his game has definitely been revitalized when Kevin McHale brought him here.
7-7. One of the things they tried to do is to get him back on the block. The last couple of years, he's moved away from the area that he's been most successful at. So they've been trying to get him down inside, and McHale has spent a lot of hours with him working on the little tricks of the game. McHale had him. And there's a little trick you're going to see a little bit more often, I think. Rasheed Wallace, who has got that move down beautifully. He's got 6 early, and the Blazers and the Wolves have a good one going. Portland by 2. Marbury over Damon. He's got 2. Remember, he had 40 points a week ago on his 22nd birthday. 40 points, 12 assists, and no turnovers.
You know, he's just a a real arrogant, cocky player, but not in a bad way. He just feels whenever he's on the floor, he's the best guard on the floor. And I love the way he approaches the game.
An illegal defense. Well, you know, Michael, along those lines, Sports Illustrated said that he plays with a sneer and a street style developed on the Coney Island blacktops.
Coney Island, I thought he's from Brooklyn. Or is that the same thing?
He's a Coney Island guy. That guy there you just saw might be from Brooklyn. That ball goes out of bounds. It'll come back. Mike, did you get your word inside? Yes, he did. Mike Dunleavy won his argument. That ball will come back to Portland. He said that was off one of their people, and he has talked the officials into making the change. Dan Crawford, Terry Durham from McMinnville, and Leroy Richardson are working the game here tonight. Grant to Ryder. One-on-one over Smith. And the missed shot, the rebound, that's Kevin Garnett. He's their leading rebounder, their leading scorer, 19.6 per game and 11 rebounds a night.
Well, so far, JR hasn't found the range, but you know he's not going to stop shooting and looking for it.
Inside Smith. He's muscled and fouled, and this will go against Arvydas Sabonis.
That's a bad call. Arvydas had all ball on that. He just came across, and he just got his hands on the ball before Joe Smith was able to bring it up over his head. Arvydas is complaining, and he has a right to. The referee was out of position on that call.
Might have been Wallace's foul, if anyone's.
There was no foul. Joe Smith just caught himself in an awkward position trying to overpower Rashid. Arvydas came over, helped out, did a good job.
He was the first pick in the draft when he came out of Maryland, 6'10", 2 1/4. Last year, Golden State and Philadelphia combined 14.6 points and 6 rebounds in his 4th year.
Yeah, Kevin McHale, he comes out here and works about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours before game time with Joe Smith on his inside post moves. And, you know, Kevin McHale, he's one of the best post players ever played a game.
Where did he release that shot? Way up on top.
A lot like Rasheed Wallace.
Right. Well, of course, Rasheed's high school coach receives a lot of credit for that. There's that shot up on top we talked about. In high school, Rasheed's coach had all his big people, if they made mistakes, run all the way around the gym with the ball, 2 hands over the head extended as far as they could to get in the habit of keeping it up high and not pulling it down. And on the rebound, Arvydas to Damon. 11-11 tie. Damon. And he's bailing out on all his shots. Grant tries to jump it into the hole to Ryder, and nobody there except Garnett. Rashid trying to catch up. Peeler on Sabonis comes up short. He was intimidated by the 7-foot 3-inch giant. Look at the jump pass by Wallace. Oh my goodness. Up to Ryder, and he's going to get a pair out of it. Sweet in the air jump pass by Rasheed Wallace, and you won't see many 6'11 guys do that.
Yeah, that was a great arm strength because Rasheed was falling backwards and made that length of the court pass.
He can do that. Anthony Peeler.
Yeah, he's a very underrated shooter. You know, he was a good shooter when he was with the Lakers, and a lot of people don't look at him as a shooter, but that's what he does.
He's supposed to be their best three-point shooter, not having a good year, but he was 42% last year and 38% career outside the three-point line. Been around 7 years. J.R. Ryder on the post-up. That should be money in the bank inside on Peeler.
And he turns around, looks at Peeler, as if to say, man, you can't guard me down. You better put somebody big on me.
15-13. There's Marbury, and hard off the rim. Garrett on the follow. Right there. Came off hard.
Hey, this is a sweet game, Eddie. It's up and down. There's no fouls being called. This quarter's just flying by.
And they got tight rims here, so you better look for some longer rebounds. 15-15, we're tied. 5:02 to play here in the first quarter. Ryder deals inside to Arvydas. They draw the double from the top on the other side. Wallace on the base, and he has splashed another 2. And Wallace has got a fabulous first quarter going. 10 points. He got the start, and he's got a couple rebounds to go with it.
Well, with this big lineup, it looks like Flip Saunders, the Minnesota coach, says, let's rotate off the big guys if they're spotted up outside and make us beat them with 17-foot jumpers. Arvydas is doing it so far.
Marbury and Smith miscommunicating on that pin down. Turn it over. Blazers lead by 2. The Blazers and the Timberwolves go right back at it again, and it'll be broadcast on HDTV, sponsored by the Good Guys in Mitsubishi. Limited viewing available at any Good Guys location this Friday, starting at 7 o'clock. The first West Coast play-by-play HDTV broadcast, by the way. That being the new television viewing experience, we hope you'll join us. So that's coming up this Friday. And the Good Guys in Mitsubishi are going to bring it your way. Brian Grant will sit down, and Jermaine O'Neal will replace him, along with Rasheed Wallace, J.R. Ryder, Damon Stoudamire, and Arvydas, the big guy. He's got Garrett, who's considerably smaller. You can take two of Garrett and stick them beside Arvydas, and they barely match up to him size-wise. And he is fouled by Garnett. Oh, Kevin.
Kevin got a little over-aggressive that time. He actually came over and helped out really well. He didn't have to swing down on Arvydas because Arvydas was sort of off balance and falling out of bounds. Watching him makes his pivot to his right. So he's off balance. All Garnett had to do was just come there and stand there with his hands straight up, and he probably would have blocked that shot.
And Arvydas looks pure tonight. That free throw has been a little evasive for him recently, but tonight it looks pretty. Just as pure as the words out of Billy Graham's mouth.
Pure.
Appropriate on Sunday, right?
Or as pure as the driven snow in Minnesota. They got a lot of it up here.
Oh, baby. The only thing that separates this from Alaska is a cyclone fence. 1915 Blazers. Or at least it seems that way.
And you don't have to be worried about Wallace.
I saw Zane Grey walking around today.
Who?
A couple of novels under his arm. Zane Grey always wrote those Mountie books.
The book I ever read was Hanna-Barbera. Ever heard of him?
They had them down on the islands?
Oh, yeah, you betcha.
Comics. Arvydas with that Bambino.
He's just too big for Dean Garrett down the low post.
Yeah, he swings that little baby hook up and over, and Arvydas now with 7. Back to Smith. And the Reed-like forward misses, and here's a 3-on-2 goal rush. Ryder on the right wing trailing, and Ryder and the Blazers lay it up and over. And it's 23-15. The Blazers with the lead. And Marbury will call for timeout. Time for a Coney Island dog. Time to the side, 3:17 in the quarter, and the Blazers on top, 23-15.
The Timberwolves would like to welcome all groups in attendance at tonight's game. For information,
Call TCI Cable or your local cable company now to order this Tuesday's Blazers Jazz game live from the Garden. Blazer Vision pay-per-view only, $9.95 per game. We saw that Jazz game today, and I tell you, this is a good basketball team. This will be a good test, a real good test. So we hope that you call in your TCI or local cable company and order now.
That's the fast break. J.R. Ryder running the lanes. Guys know if they get out on those lanes, they'll just keep their hands ready, and Damon will give it to them at the right time.
Marbury, Smith.
Look at the Blazers clog down the middle, forcing Minnesota to take off-balance 15-foot jump shots.
Smith stripped on the way up. Jermaine and Arvydas were right there. Up they come with Damon Stoudamire. Damon looks to flash inside, can't. Rasheed goes out along the side and takes it. Want to move him in deeper on Garnett. Great matchup. Jump hook, he's got a pair. How sweet it is. It's 25-15.
Well, he's feeling it now. What a shot that was by Rasheed. Oh, jump hook from 10 feet away, straight down in the basket. That's when you know you got your stroke over.
Coney Island had one block, picked up inside, in and out. Who didn't want it? Garrett with a bottle. Trampoline time. Arvydas has got it.
Minnesota shoot the ball inside as if they're intimidated by Portland's big men.
2:21 to play in the quarter. Blazers look good so far. Damon on the top. Stops. Spin dribble against the double team. Ryder free to Wallace on the other side. Not this time. Hits the iron, and Jermaine's got one. Arvydas on the cut. Beautiful bank hook. And Jermaine gave a splendid pass while he was in motion, where you have to get it to him while he's still moving. And he hit it right in the flow of the offense, and it's 27-15. Marbury comes back and answers.
Right now, he's the only guy being able to knock down the outside jumper for Minnesota. Gamble's here, and Damon's got a break going. The other way.
Knocked away, tries to get it back up into the 4th row. Give it back, baby. Give it back. 1:42 to play in the quarter, and it's 27-17. Sports section tomorrow for information on the Blazers mailbox. Send in your Blazers questions, and you could win tickets to a future game. The Blazers page in the Oregonians sports section tomorrow.
Hey, there he is, America's greatest politician.
Give it to me, Jesse.
That's right, the next president of the United States, 2004.
I wonder if he knows how to execute the Boston Crab. That was a great old wrestling move back in the old days.
I don't know, but I know he can set a mean pick if you need a pick set out there. The old Boston Crab, huh?
Yeah, the Boston Crab. 27-17 Blazers.
That's so old nobody does that anymore.
Well, that's true.
Now it's the sharpshooter.
The sharpshooter.
The rock bottom.
Stoudamire, there's the big guy. Bill Curley in to defend. And Wallace again.
Can't miss.
14, give him the rock. Man, he's got heat flowing out of that right hand.
You know, the way he's shooting right now, I'd give him 22 shots tonight if he can keep that streak going.
Smith down Broadway. Tries to come up with it. Can't. Jermaine's got it. Jermaine holding his own. Damon Stoudamire with the ball. Jermaine with 3 rebounds. Coney Island defending the little Stoudamire. Bill Curley comes over to help him recover, and he didn't get back in time, but a blocked shot.
What a great block that was by Marbury, because you know how quick Damon is, and Damon beat him on the drive, but Marbury is able to recover and get there and make that block. That's excellent quickness.
Bill Curley looks a little bit like Dan Issel when he was playing.
You're right, he does look like him.
Yep. Damon with a left hand pin up. No. Curley with a rebound. Boston College great. Had a lot of injury problems. And Damon poke checks it away, and Marbury on the reload will bring it over down 12.
Like to knock out Bill Curley's front teeth, though, to make him look exactly like Dan Issel.
That's your job. Malik Seeley, who just came in, another off-season addition by Kevin McHale. Former #1 pick of the Indiana Pacers, 6'8", 200, a 7-year guy, and he's done nicely here. Curley, of course, formerly with Detroit and then Portland. Came over in the Randolph Childress deal. Remember him? Now, loose ball foul going this way. And it'll be a foul called on Arvydas Sabonis. How big is Curley? Not that big, 6'9", 245, although he looks like he may have grown a little bit. So Seeley and Marbury. Seeley can play the 3 also, 6'8". He gives you size problems. Against Damon Stoudamire and Jimmy Jackson, who had 13 points in the key hoop last night, but more importantly, as Sabonis sits down, he had 15 points and 10 rebounds in that game.
Good to see Kelvin Cato in the game. This is his type of game. Got a lot of jumpers and runners out there for big guys, so he should be able to fit right in here for Portland.
He replaces Arvydas. Here's Marbury. Offensive foul called on Bill Curley. Trying to get tough. You know, Curley's not going to let those 2 front teeth go. He's got a mouth guard in there.
Yeah, smart man. I don't understand how players can play without him. Sheed wears one, and I think he's the only Blazer I've seen with, Arvydas, the only 2 I've seen with mouth guards in their mouth.
Well, Arvydas is not always in his mouth.
He has to wash it off after every game after throwing it around.
Stoudamire splits the D, and he's grilled cheese, and a foul will be called. And this will be on Coney Island Marbury.
With what is that, 1.1 seconds to go. But, of course, they had a foul to give, so it doesn't hurt him.
Foul to give. That reminds us of last night when the Wizard didn't give the foul on the ball and ended up maybe missing a chance. Jermaine with Joe Smith in his face, no foul call, and that'll do it. But what a quarter by the Blazers, huh? 29-19. Second quarter coming.
GTE, proud sponsor of the Portland Trailblazers. By AT&T Wireless Services, it's all within your reach. And by Bank of America, offering dedicated relationship management teams. Put your money in motion.
Exciting stuff. Tuesday, Blazers home at the Garden, and the Jazz are there, and tickets are on sale right now. Blazers tickets are really very affordable, and this is the game you don't want to miss. For tickets, call 797-9600. Representatives are there to take your call and your order right now. 797-9600, Utah, with Stockton, Malone. Jerry Sloan's really got him playing some great basketball. And, Michael, that's going to be a game to see.
Yeah, I can't believe tickets are still available. They should have been sold out weeks ago because, like I've been saying for weeks now, this could be a preview of the Western Conference Finals. I think Portland's doing really well on this road trip, whether they win tonight or not. And, of course, if they can come back Tuesday and get a big win against Utah, that's going to send a message around the NBA that this team is a very serious contender.
The Rose Garden is accessible to people with disabilities. For accessible seating, call 503-231-8000 or TDD 503-231-1101. 1. This road trip has been an interesting one. I think the Blazers, after the win at New Jersey, figuring maybe that Charlotte wasn't going to be that difficult, relaxed a little bit. They had to hustle to come back. Down 25, almost won it at the end. The Blazers shooting 50% tonight. The Wolves 40, and that 50% is very impressive considering what the Blazers have been through. 3 in a row on the road and 4 in the last 5 away. And they still have some legs, which is a testimony to their shape and condition that they're in.
Now it's up to these guys. Very good pressure by Jermaine O'Neal and Kelvin Cato for the big guys, forcing Bill Curley to throw that one away.
Well, why was he even handling the ball?
Yeah, Stephon Marbury ran away from the ball because Greg Anthony did a good job denying him a chance to come back.
See, that's the value of a Greg Anthony. He'll make you do things you'll never see in the box score. Out on top, Anthony. High screen from Kelvin Cato. Got Walt Williams in the game for the first time. Nothing wrong with Walt. No reason he didn't start. Just the matchups. Dunleavy, with all that flexibility, took advantage of it. No goaltending on Jermaine's swing hook. And here they come.
That's a great block by Garnett. Jermaine was up there pretty high when he let that go.
Bill Curley. And look at O'Neal go high for the ball. That's 4 rebounds for Jermaine. Anthony Jackson. Cato sets up low blocks on Curley. Squares up, wants to take him to the rack, puts it up high, got 2. Kelvin Cato.
That was a shot-put shot. Had no rotation on the ball head and just fell right through the bottom of the net.
And Jermaine over there trying to put some pressure. That's a tough one for him to pick up. The fleet-footed Stephon Marbury, and he gets the foul on the play.
Yeah, Marbury's logging major minutes here because they're so far behind now, being down 12 points. Philip Saunders doesn't feel safe taking him out and putting Bobby Jackson back there playing.
Great defense inside by Cato, and as I pointed out many, many times, Cato really very, very good at blocking, intimidating, and keeping the ball in play. He kept that in play. It was knocked out of bounds by the Blazers.
Well, Cato did the right thing. He just went to the rim and waited for the little guy to come to him.
He's got good hands, too, and a pretty good passer. He surprises me on his passing ability. Inside, now they go Curley again. The left-hander will try this one and they'll hit it.
See, that's the only thing Minnesota's getting tonight is outside jump shots and getting nothing in the post.
That's okay. I mean, if you're going to have to settle for outside shots, I like your chances if you're denying the ball inside. They are not a good three-point shooting team, Michael. 28% from the floor. Jermaine squares up. Running one-handed. Air special. Try heave that one, and Stephon will bring it up through the crowd. Slalom is into the corner. He goes to Sam. And Mitchell, who came in the game and is awfully talented and very smart. Garnett in deep to Marbury, and he's fouled by Jimmy Jackson. Blazers trying to sink back down to help out on the play.
Excellent hustle by Kevin Garnett, sort of called Kelvin Cato, just getting a little nonchalant with the ball with that outlet pass. Garnett's got those quick hands. It's a good foul by Jim Jackson to prevent the layup, make him earn it from the line.
Back to the first quarter. Blazers good with only 1 turnover. 1 turnover against the team that leads the NBA in the least amount of turnovers allowed on an average night, 12.5 a game. And Jermaine comes off, and in comes Brian Grant. So a good job by Jermaine. Hit the boards, worked hard. 4 rebounds to go with it, and the missed free throw. And it's still 31-21. They miss on 2 tries.
That foul by Jim Jackson turned out even better than he planned.
Walt Williams off the screen down. No, Brian Grant can't get it. Boy, if he has a little off night, you can sure understand that. Garnett on the flash cut. Mitchell hit him with it on the move. Shades of the old Denver Nuggets motion offense where they just keep coming at you and going to the rack.
Well, that's what Kevin Garnett can do. Just like Rasheed Wallace does for Portland. Garnett can really run the floor for a guy 6'11".
And a whistle and a foul called on Bill Curley. Blazers lead by 8. We have 9.5 to play in the half. Wow! 31-23.
What song is it?
The Timberwolves are at the Rose Garden this Friday, and it will be broadcast on HDTV, sponsored by the Good Guys in Mitsubishi. Limited viewing available at any Good Guys location this Friday at 7 o'clock. This is the first West Coast play-by-play HDTV broadcast. That's the new television viewing experience, so I hope you join us. We're back 9.5 in the half. Sam Mitchell, a very smart 6'7", 10-year guy in the lineup for them, has been in for a little bit. And Anthony with a nice slashing drive to the hoop. Greg Anthony, and the Blazers now lead by 10 again. Bobby Jackson, High Sox, in the ball game. Played at the University of Minnesota, traded over here from Denver before the season. And Garnett tries to catch his own misfire, and he steps out of bounds with the ball.
And every time he throws himself into the stands like that, the fans and Kevin McHale and Flip Saunders, the coach, they all hold their breath. They don't want to see that guy get hurt.
Except some of those ladies in the first row, and it's, ooh, Kevin.
Yeah, you betcha. Right, some of that sweat on me.
33-23. 9 minutes to play. Steal, Bobby Jackson. And Jackson took it away from Greg Anthony. 33-25. One of the more embarrassing moments for any point guard.
Oh, that's like being stripped naked, man. Or getting, like, be a cornerback getting caught in a bomb.
Walt Williams comes over, sets the high screen, and Walt was moving on the screen, and boy, they were watching him all the way. They'll let that one go a lot, but it was pretty obvious Walt was trying to get set, and again, the responsibility of the man with the ball to take him to the screener. Kevin McHale likes what he just saw.
Well, that happened too, because Walt's not used to setting screens. He's used to coming off screens. See that Minnesota can get nothing inside. They got no post-up players.
Jackson quick, Anthony on the bump. Boy, these are really, really shady fouls they're calling now.
Well, if you
let him play.
Yeah, if you put your hand on the guy as he's trying to get towards the hole, they'll call a foul every time. If he's going laterally, they may let you get away with it. But once he puts his head down, he starts driving to the basket.
Well, you know, that's what gets me. You put your hand on a guy's hip as if you're almost saying hi, and yet you get mugged inside. They don't call fouls sometime, and then they call these fouls. Joe Smith back in. He'll work up against Kelvin Cato. It's 33-25 Blazers. Jackson pull up off the screen. Misses it, and Brian Grant, the hardest working man in basketball, has got the steel-toed sneakers with him again tonight. Jackson trying to go to Grant. Double teamed inside, swinging Anthony to Walt. Walt's got Sam Mitchell to beat. He's got a gray beard defending him, but Mitchell is extremely smart. So Walt says, let me clear out and work on this old timer. It's right there. Look at Grant over the back of everybody. And then Cato can't go up and get it. And here's Malik Sealy, 6'8", dump it back on the base. Bobby Jackson with a miss, and Jimmy Jackson, no relation, with a rebound. Anthony and the Blazers up by 7:43 to play in the half. Jimmy Jackson trying to direct traffic, sends Walt to the other side, gets Brian Grant out, says, let me take this fellow right here. And he shoots it over Mitchell, and he's got himself a pair. Jackson knew what he was doing all the while.
Yeah, because Mitchell's a 6'8" guy, knows he doesn't have the quickness to stay with Jimmy that far from the basket. Sort of faked at him, made him back off you, just step back to the old Kiki Van Noy step back jumper.
Jackson. Smith. Oh, that's Sealy, pardon me. Sealy, who played at St. John's, been with Indiana, the Clippers, Detroit, and now Minnesota.
Is he the guy who designs ties?
He does. 35-27. Blazers with a lead. Anthony all the way through the crowd. Dumps it back to an open Kelvin Cato. Cato.
Nice shot by Kelvin, showing us his range.
37-27. The Blazers by 10. Sealy from Bobby Jackson. Jimmy slides under the screen momentarily and goes back to get Sealy. Under the screen again by Smith. And Sam Mitchell bumped by Walt Williams to Joe Smith to Bobby Jackson. On the iron. Jackson, he's not a bashful fellow about taking the shot either, is he?
Oh, no. He used to put up a lot of shots at Denver and at the University of Minnesota, so he's used to that.
And Cato got behind Bill Curley, who looks like he's gasping for air right now. 39-27. Jackson with a wraparound. Look at Walt Williams step in and help. Ball loose. Curley can't get it. Out ahead to Anthony. A scrum. And Jackson calls for time, and the Blazers have possession of the pelota. A 20-second timeout is what they want, but they're not going to get it, I don't think. So with 6:03 to play here in the half, 39-27.
that was?
Could have been that freak from work.
Hi.
Could have been the guy from the pet shop.
Or maybe it was your ex.
Here's an idea. When you miss a call, dial star 69.
Hi.
It phones whoever called you last.
No, I'm alone.
Star 69 from GTE. It's on your phone already.
Someday, somewhere, you're going to wish you had BP gasoline. BP is specially formulated to keep your engine clean for optimal performance. After all, he who hesitates is lost. BP, we keep you moving.
Join Nike and the Blazers as we honor coaches of any sport with a Nike Play Coach of the Game. Coaches of grades 1 through 12 are eligible for the award, and those selected will receive $500 from Nike for their sports programs. So if your team's coach is an inspiration, respectful, has exceptional knowledge of the game, and so on, write to the Blazers office to nominate your coach for the Nike Play Coach of the Game, and winners will be announced on Blazers television. Bench scoring 10-8, and Kelvin Cato with 6 in the first 6 minutes of the second quarter. Blazers with a 12-point lead. Jermaine O'Neal on the bench with 4 rebounds did a nice job also.
The Blazers have this 12-point lead because Minnesota can get nothing in the paint there. Everything is coming from 15 feet and out.
Look at Anthony slaloming. And then he tries to fade away and doesn't draw iron, but it's picked up by Cato. Cato once, twice, try it again. Back on top to Jimmy Jackson. He's got a 3. And the Blazers have their biggest lead of the night, 42-27. Wall Street bringing up some big-time numbers. 5:30 to play here in the first half. Mitchell on the pick and slip. There he is with the catch and shoot. New with a rebound. Cato on the trampoline.
There's another 15-footer, and the Blazers do a good job. We limit him to 1 shot.
Cato with 5 rebounds to go with his 6 points. Jackson with a spin dribble. Faces up on Mitchell. Ooh, and in and out. The hoop just didn't want it. And Seeley will get it. And he'll give it over here to Bobby Jackson. He of the House Sox.
Good job. The second team are coming in. They're coming in and increase the lead. So they're doing an excellent job. Great defense by Kelvin Cato.
Grant ahead to Anthony, and an offensive foul on Greg Anthony as Seeley held his ground and took the charge from Greg Anthony. And the Blazers are going to make a couple of changes.
Here comes Greg Anthony right at Malik Seeley. Just got a little bit out of control because he had numbers on Minnesota, 3-on-2. He just should have held up a little bit, then he could have chosen which side to go to. There's a guy who's come back, and let's hope he hasn't cooled off, because when he left the game, boy, he was hot.
Anthony is out, Grant is out, Damon is in, and Wallace is in. Garnett try to look for someone to swing to. There's Stephon Marbury, and he misses the shot. Or is that, yeah, that's Marbury. Just hit behind somebody over there, didn't see him. Jackson. Wow. And Garnett. Easy pickings to Mitchell. Block shot by Walt Williams, and they'll call a goal.
Well, good hustle by Walt Williams coming back. He's trying to say that he took the ball to the glass. Let's see it on this replay here coming up. Here comes Sam Mitchell. A little bit out of control. See if he gets the ball before it's the glass. Ooh, that's close, but it looks like it was a good block. Usually when it's that close, they usually give it to the offensive guy.
Leroy Richardson, who was on the base, said he didn't see it, and Dan Crawford made the call.
Of course he didn't see it. He was looking right at it.
Look at Rashid with a dump off inside to Cato and a foul called on the Wolves. Well, one thing the Wolves aren't, they're not real thick and burly.
That's why I say be physical with them, because they don't like the pounding and pushing that Bryant Grant and Arvidas can put on them.
Hey, I got it. These are some lean Wolves. A lot of snow up here. They can't get to the pickings on the ground.
These Wolves are herbivores. They're not carnivores.
I know one thing. They're howling Wolves.
Right now they're howling for anything. Howling for some help is what they're howling for, because they just can't seem to find it anywhere on the bench that flips on this turn to.
You're a music man.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
You ever hear of the Howlin' Wolf?
The Howlin' Wolf. I heard of Steppenwolf.
No.
Not the Howlin' Wolf. You ever heard of Steppenwolf?
Oh, yeah.
All right, then. You're pretty hip, Eddie. It's pretty cool, huh?
I get down, man.
I thought you were a jazz man, a blues man.
I'm blues. That's the Howlin' Wolf.
Oh, okay.
42-29. Stephon Marbury, bumped by Damon Stoudamire. Mitchell inside to Garnett. Look out, the big guy's in deep where he likes to be, and the rebound by Stoudamire off a good defense by Rasheed. Wallace not allowing him to get a little bit closer. Damon back to Wall. The Wizard slashes, and there he goes. Boy, he had a great move, and he just didn't quite put it over the iron.
Yeah, now you see him, now he don't, but he forgot to complete it.
Look at this guy. 22 years old, and he's talking free agency like he wants out of here.
But why?
Year.
I don't get that. I mean, where's he going to go? To Chicago and lose and be in the lottery? He can't get any more money playing for the Bulls.
Well, he's just setting the trap, and he's hoping these guys fight the cheese.
But the most he can get is $71 million. Good move by Damon Stoudamire, beating Stephon Marbury. Probably worried about counting his money instead of playing defense.
44-31, Blazers by 13. Damon's first two of the game. There he is, Joe Smith slashing inside. Cato with another rebound.
Yeah, Blazers is doing a good job contesting everything.
Rasheed says, I got it. And he's fouled on the way in. Went up off balance and bumped on the play. No flagrant. Stephon Marbury, thinking free agency. Got a lot of moves.
Yeah, he's obviously his thoughts of his Wallace not weighing him down. He has a nice drive to the hole. He can get high in the air. And has Damon coming back on the other end. So, okay, you beat me. Now it's my turn.
Yes, indeed. Making a nightly deposit like money in the bank, huh? 44-31, Blazers. Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, getting back to Marbury. Rasheed misses his first foul shot there. You know, the Timberwolves are begging him to sign. The most they can give him is $71 million for 6 years, and they said they'll give it to him tonight. They signed a contract tonight. I don't know why he's hesitating.
The most?
That's the most. Well, you know, he'll have to be satisfied with that, Ed.
Well, I feel sorry.
I know, single, 22 years of age. I don't know how he's going to make ends meet, making $12 million a year.
His cell phone bill is about $10 grand a month, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Wallace makes the second, made the second, missed the first. 45-31, Blazers by 14, led by as many as 15, and Rasheed has 15 so far. Wrap around inside, nice little pass, nice little hook. Garnett and Marbury, and the pressure is extended now, and Marbury will check Damon back here, working on the left-hander's dribble.
Right now, Minnesota's probably thinking to himself, let's get this thing around 9 or 8 points, take it to halftime.
Good little crossover inside. Look at him. It looks like he's on skates. And it's tipped up there by Arvidas, and no, the rebound by Garrett. Garrett and Sergeant Sabonis back in the ballgame. Malik Sealy. And a rapier-like attack at the rack as he slices through the crowd. Fouled at the line. They're within 10.
Attention, TLC has TV's Alien Invasion Week.
People see things in the sky, strange things they can't explain. Sometimes they turn out to be hoaxes or cases of mistaken identity. Some sightings.
Usually, there's a very easy explanation.
Well, there you see who's leading in assists. Damon Stoudamire, Stephon Marbury in the top 8. Stoudamire 8th at 7.3 and Marbury at 9.3. Doing it all for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Damon Stoudamire, his scoring may be down this year, but he's doing a good job distributing the ball to the right guys. There we see Malik Sealy coming back against J.R. Wright. He sees a little opening. J.R. bumps him as he goes in his motion of shooting. As a result, Minnesota has a chance for a three-point play.
Blazers have 14 fouls now, and the T-Wolves have 3. And Sealy at the line trying to complete the three-point play. Sabonis is one on the left and one on the right. Is Brian Grant, I believe. That's correct. And he misses, and Arvidas draws it off. So Sabonis picks up rebound number 4. And Damon brings it over with that hip-high dribble.
This is what JL loves to operate down. He feels he can post up any two guard in the low post. Let's see what he does.
Hooks it clear to Wallace, who's been hot. The high banker, no good. Grant can't get it to follow. And Malik Sealy with the rebound.
Good recognition by JR, though, to just draw the defense to him and give it to the right guy.
Boy, I'm going to tell you something. Garnett just did a wicked pick on Stoudamire. And then was released and by himself, and they found him, and now they've cut it to 8 points. 45-37, 1:42 to play in the half. Blazers led by 15 at 1 point. Wolves slowing the tempo down a little bit, getting back in transition. Grant, they swing 2 men to a wall. Oh, no, he missed it. And it's off the rim, and it will be an over and back.
No, you can get it because it's a rebound.
Right. Yeah, that's right. It's a rebound. The clock is all set, reset. They got plenty of time. Back to Sabonis. Off the rim, and the rebound comes off now to Marbury.
See, Minnesota's accomplished their goal to try to get this down to 7 or 8 points, get themselves right back into feeling good going into halftime.
Marbury made a good move, lost the dribble, had to go back and get it. Seeley with a leaner. Well, he's helped. He's got 8. And suddenly, it's a 6-point ball game. 45-39. Boy, Rasheed talking to himself about that missed slam.
Yeah, he's got to get another shot up. I'm sure he will. Damon tries to join the defense, so he's got to keep shooting it because he's got his good feel tonight.
Well, they're keeping Damon out of the middle. They're channeling him to the side, and they're doubling everything down in the box. Ryder with a nice 2. That'll free things up maybe if you hit a few more of those. They're sinking back, getting the help from the top side and really making it difficult inside. They're going to give him 2 and send him to the line, Marbury. And they got a nice little run going here.
Yeah, Stephon Marbury realizing that they're trying to get 2 for 1. Flips on the side, said, go quickly, so we can get 2 shots up before the half runs out. Marbury, all he sees is a little crease. That's all he needs. He dribbles so low to the ground. He's so quick with that first step. He's able to get in there. Tom Hammonds has been around for 9 years, knocked around with Denver. Where else has he been? Mostly with Denver and
Washington, Charlotte. Yeah. Hambone. He's a big, strong guy. And you know, he's in there for nothing more than physical reasons. Marbury on the three-point play. Hammonds 6'9", about 240. 47-42, as close as they've been since the first quarter. Cut 10 off the lead. Sabonis. Down to Arvidas. Rasheed Wallace. He's still on fire. And Wallace has got 17 in the first half, and it's 49-42. That was purer than New England maple syrup. Marbury on Stoudamire. Back along the base on the pull-up. Nice little pull-up. Joe Smith. Boy, he's a real light guy. And that's going to end the first half. Interesting feature coming up at halftime. Stay with us. Blazers 49. The Howling Wolves 44.
It's filled seats and trophy cases. It's made hearts pound and feet scramble. And at times...
Always in the game, always Coca-Cola. By Alaska Airlines, for the same price, you just get more. By the Fannie Mae Foundation, showing America a new way home. And by Nike, who advises you, March Madness, it's spreading.
Hi, welcome to our brand new practice facility. Come on, let me be your tour guide.
It's a mighty impressive sight. 34,000 square feet make up the finest practice facility in the NBA. A 24 hours, 7 days a week, self-contained gem of a gym. And then some.
2 NBA full courts. We've got clocks on both full courts where you could have 2 separate games going on. We've got the shot clocks. More importantly, we've got 8 baskets around the 2 facilities, so when you break down, you can have a number of players shooting at each basket. Little things, if you're a coach or a scout, you've got your office right here. You can be on the phone doing your work and watching practice. So it's all designed toward the basketball floor. Here we are in our weight room, probably the biggest weight room in the NBA because our strength and conditioning coach, Bobby Medina, was involved in the design process, and as you can see, he's got a weight room bigger than most health clubs. Yeah, after the serious weightlifting's done, we have the old man's club here, and see the little aerobic?
I go by calories.
How many you want to burn today, buddy?
1,000.
Okay, here we are in the training room. As you can see, it's very large. We've got taping tables back here, our ice machines, some small whirlpools, 3 treatment tables here where we'll put treatments on them and do a lot of the electrical stimulation. Okay, now we're getting into the heart of it after a tough workout. Guys may come in here for a little steam action. We've got 3 large pools. This pool is a resistance pool. They'll get in here, we'll run. It's 7 feet 6 inches deep.
The pool area also features a jacuzzi and a 58-degree cold plunge to rejuvenate those muscles. Next stop, the state-of-the-art video center. The staff can break down video of Blazer games, specific players, and opponents. And then there's the lounge. In other words, this $5 to $10 million facility is all about the players.
They treat the players really well here. I think it's a great atmosphere because you want to come in and practice.
It's also going to be a great recruiting tool for us. When we try to bring players in here, it says something. It says Portland is serious, and they take their team very seriously.
If practice makes perfect, then the Blazers have the perfect practice facility. Yes, the Blazers have that covered. Take a look.
What did your money do today? Is it making things happen like the big man?
9:44 at halftime. The Blazers leading the Minnesota Timberwolves in a first half that was very inspiring for quite a while. Blazers just started to get a little tired toward the end. But I got to tell you, there were some very interesting things that happened. The play of Jermaine O'Neal. Call left.
Well, these guys love to compete against each other, especially Isaiah Ryder when he comes back here. And his old hometown is when he first got drafted into the NBA. He's running the floor well. He's posting up well, telling these guys, look, you can't take me. And here's a good ball moving. Rasheed Wallace over to Isaiah, knocking down the setup jump shot. So he's having a good time in that first half. And you can see the shot there that he made within his range, you know, and the shots that he missed. But I like what he's doing. He's playing with a lot of energy, and he enjoys playing against this team.
And performing as well as they are.
I don't know what this guy ate for lunch today, but whatever it is, he needs to eat it again on Tuesday before he plays the Jazz, because Rasheed Wallace came out on fire today. He started posting up, then he started moving without the ball. Look at that great pass feed from Arvydas Sabonis. And not only inside, but he was also set up outside, too, showing his range from 18 feet. He just had it going on in that first half, and he's done a great job. You can just tell by the shots here where all of his points came from. He's inside, outside, he's just all over the floor. He's got that feeling, and when you get that feeling, Eddie, it's like stepping up on the tee, and you just didn't know you're going to put it right down the fairway every time, baby.
280, right down the middle.
Right down the middle, splitting that fairway. That's what Rasheed's been doing tonight.
He's 8 for 11 from the floor, so you know he's got that good feeling tonight. So you got to get him the rock.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, when he's shooting like that, give him 20 shots. And this guy here, Stephon Marbury, he's the reason why Minnesota came back into the game after falling behind by 15. Look at this great block, great recovery there on Stoudamire. Shows his quickness. And he's the type of guy, you just give him an inch, man, and that's all he needs. He's going to find his way to the hole, breaking down the defense.
Now, what's so tough about him is that he scores. He's had 9 points, but he's also had 10 assists. That's an incredible amount. We've only played a half of basketball. And when you put him together with Garnett, you really have a combination, because these two fellas together are dynamite.
Well, they always compare themselves to John Stockton and Karl Malone. They say they want to be the Stockton and Malone of the 21st century, the early 21st century, and they have that potential to do that, because Garnett's another guy at 6'11". He can run the floor, he can shoot from the outside, he can post you up. He is just a complete player, showing everybody why he decided to come out of school, straight out of high school, into the NBA. He's got an incredible poise to his game. Not only is he a physically gifted guy, but he's incredibly intelligent, too. Everybody talks to him, he's very coachable. He's one of the hardest workers on the team. He comes early, he stays last. So he's just a beautiful guy to have on your team. I just love this guy's game.
I think poise is the perfect word, because you recall how young this guy is. He's incredibly young. And he and his partner Marbury should be seniors in college. Blazer tickets are on sale. Don't forget, Tuesday, the Western Conference champion Utah Jazz are there. There'll be something else to see. They took apart the San Antonio Spurs today, and they have really shown the rest of the league that they are something else. Blazer tickets are very affordable. For tickets, you call 797-9600. Representatives are standing by to take your order. 797-9600. The Jazz on Tuesday night.
What are you doing to reduce your risk of cancer?
Eat healthy. Eat healthy.
I try to eat healthy and exercise.
Staying away.
Performance in the game so far? Well, we've gone over them a little bit, but let's take a look at them visually for you.
Well, you see Rasheed Wallace there with 17 points, 3 assists. He's got to pick the rebounds up a little bit, but Arvydas Sabonis still having a nice line across the board. Stephon Marbury from Minnesota, 9 points, 10 assists. Really dishing the ball well to all of his teammates, trying to get them involved, because he's been a one-man gang for Minnesota in the first half. But Rasheed Wallace is the story of the half for Portland. He just came out on fire.
And, of course, the way he shot the ball, 8 for 11 from the floor, buoyed the Blazers' field goal shooting percentage, which was over 50% for most of the half, and slipped to 44 toward the end of the first half. And the Timberwolves at 47%, as you can see there. On the rebounding, This is something the Blazers can do all the time. 28-19, dominating on the boards. Big board work, and they got a lot of help off the bench on this one. As we've mentioned to you, people like Kelvin Cato and Jermaine Williams doing a nice job. Rasheed Wallace didn't have to get a lot of rebounds. He only had 2. Elsewhere in the NBA today, well, let's find out what happened. Orlando losing to Miami after leading that one almost all the way. Miami pulls it out without Tim Hardaway.
That's amazing.
It was. How about the Knicks that had been on a tear lately? They go to Detroit, a team that has been up and down, and they get their heads handed to them. Being on the road is tough. Milwaukee can tell you that. They have not done well on the road recently. They're tired, 87-76. They lose to the 76ers. And there's Utah, Tuesday night at the Rose Garden, 101-87. The Spurs have got some spurs under their saddle blankets right now. They're not doing well. Houston goes to L.A. Rodman shows up. It's like Mardi Gras there every night.
How about Kurt Rambis, huh? 3-0.
It's the
Who needs Phil Jackson?
It's the glasses, I'm telling
you.
That's what it is?
I
tell you all the time.
Yeah.
Call TCI Cable, your local cable company, right now and order this Tuesday's Blazers Jazz game. It's live from the Garden. Blazer Vision pay-per-view only, $9.95 per game. That's a deal for you when you consider that the Jazz are in and the Blazers are playing well, and hopefully they can come away with a win on this one if they can hang on. Damon, 1 for 7 in the first half. Having to do other things because he's not been shooting the ball well lately. Arvidas has, however. He was 3 for 5 after a 15-point game last night. Brian Grant, J.R. Ryder, Rasheed Wallace round out the 5. Marbury, Joe Smith, Garrett, Garnett, and the peeler, Anthony. And the whistle on the foul. Garnett will go to the line. And it will be a 2-shot foul on Rasheed Wallace.
What Portland wants to do now is come out strong in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this quarter to see if you can put Minnesota back down to some kind of funk. You can't let Minnesota come out and be the aggressors here and get the momentum going on their side.
Kevin Garnett, how good is he going to be?
Oh, he's an all-pro already. You know, Scottie Pippen has already claimed he's one of the top 10 players in the game, which he definitely is.
$120 million.
Isn't that the largest team contract in history? $126 million.
I believe it is.
I think it is.
I can't count that high, so I forgot when I got up around 56.
Yeah, after $15 million is all monopoly money after that anyway.
49-46, as close as they've been since the first quarter. Flip Saunders, their general manager coach on the side. Kevin McHale, the VP in charge of basketball operations. They double Sabonis, they swing it free. Ryder deep. Oh, yes! How sweet it is to see that thing just nestle in the bottom of the net.
Tough shot over a big guy like Joe Smith, too, but he knew Joe Smith couldn't come up on him because if he did, then Isaiah could just drive around him.
Like dropping a purple Easter egg in a basket full of that green kind of fake grass, you know, around Easter time.
Oh, yeah.
The dealer, Anthony Peeler, 51-48, gets him back to within 3.
Peeler the dealer, huh? Is that what you call it?
Peeler the dealer. Thought you would. Break out that stuff for you. The snapper doesn't like that stuff.
Oh, I love that stuff. I love your nicknames you give these guys.
Yeah, we have a little fun every now and then. Can't let it go too long. J.R. has it knocked away for this defender. Marbury tries to slice inside, gets free, and a beautiful move. Boy, he just spun Damon in the boulevard.
Yeah, he just overpowered Damon on that one. He's stronger than Damon, so he just took Damon, threw him off of him with his offhand and spun around. Is right in front of the rim.
51-50 now. The Blazers' lead is 1. And the Wolves have slowly chewed their way back into this one. And a technical foul being called on Rasheed Wallace.
Is that his first one for the season?
Boy, you know, I'd have to go back and look, but I can tell you that he has been tremendously constrained.
I don't know what he's upset about. Maybe he was upset with that last foul call against Kevin Garnett. Maybe he feels like the referee's being a little too ticky-tacky on him. He's getting hit and not getting the same calls in return. But you know what, though? When you play against a superstar like Kevin Garnett, you got to understand, especially on his home court, he's going to get the majority of the calls.
They're back in it. They were down 15. They've come back, and it's 51-51, a deuce game. Throw a little tennis your way for you.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Right now, he's throwing up some aces. Oh, no, that's a double fault right there. Hey, good hustle by Damon Stoudamire. Make him learn it from the stripe, because that foul stopped the crowd from getting into the game even more. Because Joe Smith was getting ready to throw it down and bring the crowd out of their seat. Damon says, go back to the foul line.
He'll get 2 on this one, on the Damon foul. Make him work for his 2. see what Joe Smith, the 79% career shooter, can do at the foul line. Unhappy at Golden State, shipped him to Philadelphia. The foul is worthwhile now. Dunleavy says, give me a timeout. Let's put the ice on this guy. A 70% shooter this year. So a timeout, all tied. Wolves will be back at the line with a chance to break it at 10:16 remaining in the third. Tickets available. They are something else. You'll want to see them. Big and strong and very, very, very smart. They execute almost flawlessly. Blazer tickets are very affordable also. For tickets, call 797-9600. Representatives are right there to take your order. That's the Utah Jazz, Tuesday night, 797-9600. A guy named Joe at the line.
Joe Smith. That's why this game is so important tonight for Portland to get to this third one on the road, because like you said, that one on Tuesday is not an automatic. Not with a good team like Utah.
Yeah, and then the next night you're in Sacramento, and they're the talk of the league in terms of giving people a scare and being exciting.
All right, so starting tonight, this is a tough week coming up for the Blazers.
Yeah, we just came off a pretty tough one as it is.
Yeah. It'll get any easier, Eddie.
And Damon trying to make a shot, and he has it snuffed away from Garnett and Garrett as they grill cheese the little man. And the Blazers will get 9 seconds to put the ball up on top.
Well, Damon's hanging on to the ball a little bit too long. See, he's taking it in there where the big guys have a chance to recover and come in and smother a shot. He needs to pull up a little quicker when he gets to the free throw line, and he'll get an easier shot.
Ryder. Grant. He's sandwiched inside, and a foul called against Garrett, I believe. That's who it is. Garrett gets the foul on the loose ball situation.
So far, Brian Grant's had a quiet night. 0 points and 4 rebounds. He usually gets 4 rebounds by midway in the first quarter.
Damon has really had to do a lot of jumping on this dribble. He gets up there pretty good for a little guy. Now he terminates the dribble and has to unload. Goes to Rashid, and now gets it back.
He should be looking more inside to Arvidas against the smaller Dean Garrett.
Oh, he made a good move to get in and out of there. Ryder with 3. You know he's going to take it right now. No, gives it to big guy on a pick and roll. And is there a foul? Yeah. The big guy releasing off the pick got it back from Ryder.
It's a good call, because right when Arvidas was getting ready to catch the ball, he wasn't going up with it. Watch this. Right when he comes off here, he's getting ready to catch somebody, goes right across his arm and knocks it out of his hand. So good call by the official.
Arvidas said, I was in the act of shooting, and they said, no, you weren't. Inbound the ball. 2 team fouls on each team now. Ryder with a good rhythm. Boy, he got that ball right where he wanted it, when he wanted it, was able to take a nice little rhythm step. Gets the shot. It's 54-52.
Yeah, when you see Isaiah dip his knees like that, that means he's got his feet together. He's ready to shoot it.
Peeler the dealer tries a 3 to get it back and can't. And Arvidas gets the rebound. Blazers doing a good job on the boards. A little slice and dice by Damon, and Grant on the put-up and fouled on the play. Now they're attacking inside better. Damon trying to move through the crowd, make basket opportunities for his mates.
Yeah, I like how Brian Grant sort of puts the ball on the floor, and then he takes a hop to clear himself away from the defense, then goes up with his power move. Watch right there. Takes a little hop right there. See that? It's the old Shaquille O'Neal hop, bunny hop.
He wasn't too great last night, was he? 19 points, 18 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds. Look at that. And 5 of 7 at the line, and he makes the deuce here. And he's got his first 2 points of the ball game tonight. Boy, he worked hard last night. I mean, all hustle stuff. 56-52, Blazers get a 4-point lead. There's Stephon. Garnett, foul line jump pass inside Garrett. No rebound. Hit Garnett. No. Smith on the trampoline. Brian, or who is that? Rasheed Wallace. And it's going to come back here to the T-Wolves.
Well, I tell you one thing. Both teams are contesting shots. Kevin Garnett goes up, looks inside. Arvidas contests that shot off the rebound. Everybody goes up for that one. They go after Joe Smith on the rebound again. Lively legs inside for that 4th game and 5th night.
They try and cross screen in the lane, and the Blazers had it read beautifully, and that is Brian Grant. Blazers were ready for that one. That's where your scouting comes in. Ryder will try and take it inside. He's got a man defending him, Peeler. Hook the pass clear inside Grant. Little jump step, left hand hook, and he's got a Bambino pair.
Took the ball away from Kevin Garnett and used the rim to protect the ball with his left hand.
58-52. Blazers by 6. Marbury. Rashid
Randall Cunningham.
Oh, my goodness. Randall Cunningham to Moss. And it's 6 for the...
They're used to seeing those kind of bombs up here in Minnesota, Eddie.
60 to 52. That was a 60-yard post pattern. Blazers by 8.
What did your money...
Friday, March 5, Blazers and Wolves. Game broadcast on HDTV, sponsored by Good Guys and Mitsubishi. Limited viewing available at any Good Guys location Friday at 7. It's the new television viewing experience. Marbury to Peeler. Steps back, gets the shot, and it was clear. That breaks a 9-0 run by the Blazers.
Tough shot by Anthony Peeler because J.R. Ryder and Arvydas Sabonis are right there in his face. He still knocked it down.
Now Peeler can do that. Played in Missouri, former #1 pick of the Los Angeles Lakers.
You know, when you sit down here, you realize how talented these players are to be able to stop on a dime like that. The guys all over him, and he still can go up and knock down a shot.
Here's Stoudamire. He finally hits one, and he's got a 3. And that time, he stayed with the shot. He didn't fall away from it. Marbury, his team down 9. Offensive foul on the back down. And Stoudamire took the bump and put a good Broadway move on it.
It's the old flop move. Terry Durham, the veteran official, I'm surprised he went for that, but Damon did a good selling job on it.
Golden State leading Phoenix at the half by 7. Chicago trailing Toronto by a pair at the half. And Vancouver and Denver in the first quarter. Ryder, that's a tough shot, but when he makes it look easy. That shot there is a very difficult one, and he makes it quite a bit of the time.
Probably the most difficult shot to make. Falling away, almost start from 10 feet, and ended up at 15 feet.
Hey, they're starting to melt the ice here at the Igloo. It's 65-56, Blazers with the lead.
This is one state where you don't have great pass from Damon. I was just going to say, you call this the Igloo. This is one state where you don't have to have an ice maker for your hockey rink. Just open the doors, Eddie, and sprinkle some water on the floor. Have your own ice rink.
Cold water anytime you want it.
Exactly, in this state. Stoudamire seems to be picking it up. He penetrated, gave a great dish off to Brian Grant for a attempted dunk.
Garnett just picked up his 4th foul.
Ooh, that's going to hurt. That's going to kill Minnesota's chances now.
And it's their 4th team foul.
So Marbury's he and Peeler are probably going to try to pick up the offensive flow here in the place of Garnett.
And Andre Patterson is checked into the lineup for the first time. Patterson, a big guy, 6'9", 240 plus from Indiana.
And Flip Saunders calls him his best post-up player on offense, so we'll see what he's got.
67-56 at the other end. Stephon Marbury comes back with a pair.
Well, if the Timberwolves are going to cut into this lead, he's going to be the guy to do it. So that means he's going to have to work extra hard on both ends, because now it looks like Damon's becoming a little bit more offensive-minded himself.
Closing in on the halfway mark in the 3rd. Ryder, Sabonis, Grant, Wallace, and Damon. Now I got a 2-man game with Stoudamire and Wallace.
This guy's too little. What if she just turn around and shoot right over him?
Here's the test. No contest.
That's like him posting you up, Eddie.
Now, come on.
You'd get in there. You hit him around the knees so he wouldn't be able to jump.
Give me a microphone. I might be able to defend myself.
Yeah, you talk him out of the shot.
69-58, Blazers on top. Patterson. Andre Patterson, and I'm not sure that's his shot.
That's not what Flip Saunders wants to see.
Some head shaking going on over there. Ryder, that's his shot, and he gets 2. And the Blazers have taken the Minnesota Timberwolves' best shot, dropped to a 1-point deficit, and it opened it up now to a 71-58 lead with 5:36 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Nice going, fellas. Ryder coming right back and getting that ball, and JR now with 17, Wallace with 19, and Damon Stoudamire with 7 assists. Now this is interesting. Let me point something out here. That's the brain trust right there. Dunleavy, Musselman, Jimmy Ian, and Tony Brown. While that's going on, the other assistant coach, Tim Gergerich, is over talking to the players, trying to talk to them and kind of get in their head. It's a good move.
Yeah, he's like a basketball psychologist. You look at the rebound leaders here in the league. Brian Grant is 3rd in the league behind Chris Webber and Tim Duncan. Kevin Garnett 5th. So two gentlemen, they do yeoman's work out there. And right now, Kevin Garnett has to go sit down. So if Minnesota's going to make a comeback here, real soon, they need to get some guys on the glass. There's Tim Gergerich right there with his back to you, talking to the guys. He never gets involved in the huddles like Eddie says. He's over there just trying to keep the guys concentrated, keep them pumped up, let them know what they're doing right, maybe what they need to improve on. He's never involved with team strategy during the game.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting, if you come to a game and watch, the coaches are out setting up the strategy for the first half of the timeout. Gergerich is over talking to the players, and then he bails out, and Dunleavy steps in. Kevin McHale may be checking that idea out. That's not a bad idea.
That's my old Minnesota alum. You know, there are 8 Minnesota Gophers alumni in this game, involved in this game tonight.
There are 8 Gophers here tonight.
8 Gophers, baby. Let's see. There's me. I'll tell them to you quickly.
They're all digging holes someplace.
Yeah, right now the Gophers are in a hole. I mean, some of the Minnesota Timberwolves Gopher members are in a hole. It's me, Musselman, Flip, Kevin McHale, Bobby Jackson, Trevor Winter, Jim Peterson, Trent Tucker. Those 2 guys are involved with the Timberwolves broadcasting. So this is like a Gopher alumni game here tonight.
Stay away from my front lawn. 71-58, Trailblazers with a lead. Since the Blazers timeout at 9:59 in the 3rd quarter, the Blazers have been on a 20-6 run. And an offensive foul here called against the T-Wolves. Andre Patterson. Let's just see who this is on. They're looking that way. That's who it is.
That's Randy Whitman, Flip Saunders. Randy Whitman, former Indiana University star.
Jerry Seasting is over there. And Greg Ballard, who played a little ball down there at Oregon State, University of Oregon. They were Rob Kloss and the Kamikaze guys.
Right.
71-58, Blazers with a lead. Marbury.
It'll be Marbury against 5. They try to come back here.
Bill Curley.
How come every time he makes a shot, I always want to go?
Do you want to do that?
Like, you know, every time you say Curly, what do you start thinking of? Mo and Larry.
Curly, Mo, and Larry Joe, right?
Exactly.
Out on top, Wallace. The JR. Looks for the high screen, gets it to Sabonis. Slip and pick. And now he sails it back out of the hands of Patterson. Leads Marbury ahead. This is easy. No, he missed it. With the defense trailing, and David strips Andre Patterson. Stoudamire leaving for the large fella. Comes back to the middle, leaves it over here. David Stoudamire. Crowd wanted a charge. They get no help.
They said Sabonis traveled, which he did. Oh, look at that foul by Curly. Little wrestling match is going down there. Arvidas is used to that, though. He likes the guys to grab him because he knows the referee's going to eventually pick it up, so he just sort of ambles across the lane, tied up at Bill Curley. Watch Stephon Marbury get intimidated by Rasheed Wallace. Thinking Rasheed's going to jump, causes him to go underneath the rim and lay it up with the wrong hand, and then Patterson gets the rebound, tries to take it back up, and Damon strips it before he can gets it over his head.
It's a nice run by the Blazers. And Arvidas. Jesse the Body Ventura.
He's going to pass legislation on these referees if these guys don't start calling Minnesota's way, he's thinking.
Got to go out and put that one ref in a grapevine. Throw him down there right in the jump circle.
Grapevine, huh? Yeah, another hole.
72-60. Got to be a little historic about these things.
Yeah. Well, back that far.
Curly. We got to straighten you out. Joe Smith. Just a guy named Joe. And it's 72-62.
A whole lot of guys checking the hotels with that name. Well, you know.
Arvidas.
He loves that move. He comes across the lane that way, and as soon as he gets it, he leans in. He either picks up the foul, or he's going to get an easy layup.
There are not many guys hiding behind that name.
That's right.
74-62. Peeler back to Smith. Baseline J, rumbling around the iron. Fight for the loose change. And rarely does this happen where Grant had one taken away by the smaller Coney Island hot dog.
This guy's on bachelor, huh? The kid comes in there and he says, I'm going to shoot it.
That's a dry heave.
Andre Patterson.
Crossover. Stoudamire. Ryan Grant right there. Look at the body fake. He goes up strong. Blocked and foul. No foul call. Tries to save. Blazers should get it back.
I think Ryan Grant got away with a foul at time, meaning a foul on him. He goes up here and gets an excellent rebound. He never stops working. Just goes over here. Watch this. He goes up. It's like he got hit across the forearm. No call.
Sam Mitchell will check in. Rasheed Wallace has gone bye-bye. There he is. Stacey Augmon in the game for the first time tonight. Did not play in the first half, neither did Carlos Rogers. And Brian Grant, whoa, tried a 16-footer and got 18 out of it. And it goes out of bounds and back to the Wolves. Blazers on a 23-10 run right now.
Well, it's a fortunate break there from Minnesota because that ball went off the sand.
74-62, 2:48 remain here in the third. Marbury says, I want to throw it up deep and gets it. Hit behind the Curly screen. Arvidas, Stacey Augmon brings it into the attacking zone and leaves for Damon. Checked by Marbury, and it's now a 9-point Blazers lead. Arvidas, right where he wants it, when he wants it, he missed it. And a loose ball foul called here on Joe Smith. No, it's going to be on Brian Grant. And let's see what that means.
Only Brian's second foul, so he's okay.
Blazers have 3 team fouls. The Timberwolves are in the penalty. Went over the limit at the 5:15 mark. Marbury, high screen, Curly. No pick and roll, Marbury. Sabonis with a fingertip rebound and an outlet to Damon. Augmon sets the screen, Damon on the thrust. Damon to the rack. Damon gets it. Deuce and will go to the line for a 3-point attempt. Beautifully done.
Watch Damon just drip his head there like a sprinter coming down the home stretch.
Look at that, like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, he looked like Robert Smith for the Vikings, just cutting through the line, just sort of bumped Stephon Marbury off of the shoulder, created the space, and was able to lay it up in the continuation.
9 and 8 tonight. 9 points, 8 assists. Double numbers evade him, and a foul called here on the rebound attempt against Arvidas Sabonis.
Well, Bill Curley just, RB has just been leaning on him all night long, and Curley looks like he's just wearing out.
Dan Jr.
Well, he doesn't shoot that jumper like Dan Jr.
No. Hall of Fame Dan. Curley might visit the Hall of Fame. He lives in Massachusetts. And Curley was fouled as he went up for the rebound.
Brian Grant pushing in the back. It's his 3rd foul. Sometimes you get away with those, so you try to be a little subtle with it. You got to do the pushing before the shot hits the rim, before the guy jumps. Then you'll be able to get away with it.
Now the Blazers are over the foul limit. Stephon Marbury goes over to get a drink of water while Curly toes up to the line. Marbury, the NBA Player of the Week for the week just ended. The last time these two teams met, March 12th last spring, Sabonis was devastated. 28 points, 20 rebounds. Jermaine comes in. Brian Grant will go out. He has 3 fouls. Garnett has 4. Sabonis has 3. And Curly makes both free throws. There's a lot of practice.
You're right, because with his bad feet, his foot injuries in the last few years, all he can do is probably sit around and shoot foul shots. Minnesota comes out with a little 2-3 press here.
76-67. Augmon and Stoudamire playing catch as we try and crowd the 1-minute mark. And here's Arvidas. So now that was great. They spread the floor. They made the defense come to them. They created a passing lane so they could get the ball to Arvidas, and Curly was toast.
Yeah, Arvidas is so big. Once he gets you on that low box right there, you're doomed. All you can do is foul him. He turns that right shoulder in towards the iron, and he's got you on his hip. There's nothing you can do. Just too big.
Against the Wizards, 38 minutes after a slow night in Charlotte. Didn't play that much. 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and missed only 5 shots. Augmon will go away. Rasheed is out of there. Walt Williams has come in. So Williams checking in now with Jermaine, Sabonis, and they get the rebound. You ever notice that Sabonis is really a well-proportioned big man, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. You know, he's 7'3", but when you look at him, he doesn't seem like he's 7'3".
Back to Smith. That shot short, challenged by Jermaine. Ryder with a rebound at the 120 mark. Blazers a 10-point lead in the third. Ryder trying to get to Damon. And Damon wraps up Marbury. Takes the foul because he knew that there was an easy pair coming if he didn't foul him. And that's the second foul on Stoudamire, and Marbury will have to go to the line and work for these. Marbury, he really does play with a little stare, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, you know, he's got that New York attitude. Guys out of the New York playgrounds, that's most of them. You remember Tiny Archibald? He was the same way, and Kenny Anderson.
Kenny plays that way.
He tries to play that way, too, and Rod Strickland plays that way, so.
Stephon, like Kenny, from New York to Georgia Tech, bailed out of school early and came to the NBA. And he misses the first. This fellow, to tell you how valuable Marbury is, and you see what he did against Toronto, 17-9. The T-Wolves had never been to the playoffs before Marbury had come here, and they've been there now the last 2 years. And he makes the second after missing the first free throw.
That's why they're so nervous about what he's going to do. But I think he's going to sign an extension to stay here. He'd be crazy to leave.
You don't think he'll go to Chicago, huh?
To lose and go nowhere?
Jerry Krause will treat him well. Damon, the ball deflected off his hand by the Wolves over the top. The Blazers should get this back. They should get it back. That probably is a good... Well, now he's being overruled.
Overruled by Terry. The other official said that he had a better view of it, said nobody shot it. Damon just tried to kiss it high off the glass and shot up a little too high.
Well, now the Wolves will have it under a minute to play and down 9. Good game. Smith on the come around, heading toward the middle of Marbury, and they've done a pretty good job of trying to clear him out of the lane. He loves to go Broadway, Tony Allen does. That's not good. Smith can't get it. Damon's got it. Ryder's ahead. Williams trailing on the left wing. O'Neal on the play, trailing on it, and an offensive foul.
Oh, that's too bad, because Jermaine did such a good job getting out there to fill the lane. Stephon Marbury was a good play by two guys.
Watch this.
What's Stephon Marbury?
And then he set?
Yeah, he was set, but, you know, big guys like Jermaine, it's hard for him to change direction. Got to commend him for his hustle to get down there and try to get that layup.
Now they're going to tell Garrett to get out of there and let Martin. Now they swing it back to Sam Mitchell. Works on Walt Williams. Up fakes him, no. Back onto Marbury. Picked off there by Mitchell. Marbury played by Walt Williams. He said, let me take this guy. He can't stay with me. Quick watch. Marbury to the base. Foul called on Walt Williams.
Yeah, see with this lineup that Minnesota has on the floor, when Garnett is out of the game, Marbury's the only guy out of the 5 who can really take his man one-on-one and break down the defense. That's why they're giving him the ball. Say, here, Stephon, you do it.
He's as good a creator off the dribble as there is in the league right now. He and Allen Iverson, terrific when it comes to that.
Yeah, we've got some great point guards in the NBA, throughout the NBA, Western and Eastern Conference. Right now, Marbury's probably playing second best point guard behind Gary Payton in Chicago. I mean, in Seattle.
He makes 2. They're 13 for 19 as a team at the line. 77-70. Here's a pretty good point guard right here, David Stoudamire. Arvidas for a 3. Oh, and 1 second left. He took the shot. He had the look, and that'll end the third. The Blazers on top by 7. 77-70. I don't think you want to leave us now.
With AT&T Digital One Rate, this isn't just any phone. It's my...
AT&T could make your wireless phone your only phone.
Here in America, home means different things to different people. But we're pretty much agreed on what it means to own a home. It has something to do with stronger communities, safer streets, better schools, and the hopes and dreams that America was built on. So whatever home means, one thing's certain. It's a lot more than just 4 walls and a roof. For a free guide that can help you on the path to home ownership, call the Fannie Mae Foundation.
Since 1906, Franz and Williams bread has set the standard for taste, freshness, and of course that great, soft, smooth texture that kids of all ages love. In fact, after 90 years, the only way we figured we could make Franz and Williams breads any better was to simply make them bigger. Franz and Williams white bread. Still
Cola. Try the clean, crisp taste of Sprite. Obey your thirst. By Alaska Airlines. For the same price, you just get more. By Fred Meyer Stores. What's on your list today? And by BP. We keep you moving.
Well, here's how the scoring in the quarters have gone so far, and the Blazers with a 2-point edge over the Wolves in the third. They've led by as many as 15, trailed by 1 in the third, put the pedal to the metal, and have come back with a good shooting third quarter, 56% to Minnesota's 38%. And right now, as we slide into the fourth with Kelvin Cato, Jermaine O'Neal, Jimmy Jackson, Greg Anthony, and we're looking for a fifth Blazer.
Walt Williams.
Walt Williams. He'll go against Sam Mitchell, Marbury, Seeley, Garnett, and Dean Garrett.
You know, both the coaches tonight have gone deep into their benches. They've both played 11 guys tonight.
Garnett defending, or I should say Marbury defending on Anthony. Jackson with Walt in the corner, on top to Greg Anthony. Look at that good wide base defensive position by Marbury.
Go after Garnett because he won't want to pick up that fifth foul.
Jermaine O'Neal made a good quick spin move, and he was fouled on the play by Garnett. They weren't ready for that. Malik Seeley, the foul.
Jermaine O'Neal working inside, going against Garnett because he knows Garnett has 4, doesn't want to reach for that fifth one early. Did the right thing by taking it right inside the paint. Jermaine's being a little bit more aggressive than that offensively. He's running the floor, he's looking for a shot. That's what you want to see when you put a big guy in off the bench.
Jermaine O'Neal.
You know, he's young, 20 years old. All he wants is the chance to play.
Misses both free throws after he'd made his only 2 prior free throws. And the Blazers 9 for 17 from the floor.
You know, the Timberwolves would like to rest Marbury, but they know they can't take him out of the game if they want to try to catch up.
Inside Garrett, over Kelvin Cato. Quick turn, quick post-up move.
Well, Kelvin Cato let him get too deep. Dean Garrett's not that strong in the post, so you got to push him out a little bit further. Make sure he catches the ball with his heels outside the painted area.
Anthony, Jermaine trying to fight in against Sam Mitchell.
Those two guys having a little Greco-Roman wrestling match going on in the paint.
Jimmy Jackson to Cato, and an offensive foul called on Kelvin Cato. These are mistakes the Blazers can't make.
Yeah, you can't afford to do that here and give Minnesota a chance to catch up. But it looked like that was a good pick by Kelvin Cato. He just moved off the screen. He didn't look like he pushed off.
Mike Dunleavy's going to make a move right now, and he's going to bring in Rasheed Wallace as soon as he can. Wallace has been spectacular tonight, particularly the first quarter. Marbury blocked by Greg Anthony. What anticipation. And Marbury sailing to the rack. Jermaine with a rebound. Protects the ball, young man, and he gives to Jimmy Jackson. To Greg Anthony. Anthony looking inside to Cato on the low left side. Now he clears out, goes to the right side. We get an illegal defense, the second of the night against Minnesota.
Well, they were trying to go post up Jim Jackson against Marbury. Kevin Garnett was guarding his man and didn't want to leave Marbury down there alone with Jim Jackson.
And you put Jimmy Jackson at the line, a 94% shooter.
94%?
94.
Wow.
And he missed it.
Oh, you jinxed him, Eddie. You shouldn't have mentioned it until after he made it.
Oh, you were the one that reiterated it.
I guess you're right. It's my fault that time.
3 missed free throws here at the start of the fourth quarter. Jermaine sits down. Brian Grant. Let's see. No, Walt Williams and Rasheed Wallace are up front. Jimmy Jackson. Wall Street Jimmy. Hey, baby. How soft and sweet that was. That was like cotton candy. Seeley on the backside. Nice defensive lead by Kelvin Cato. The basket counts. Cato got there just a hair late. And a 3-point play here coming up. Seeley has been good tonight.
Yeah, good hustle by Kelvin Cato. Tried to get there to help out. Just a half a step too late. Otherwise, he'd have had himself a charge.
You know, when I think Seeley, I think sleep. But I'm not thinking sleep here. This guy's wide awake tonight.
Yeah, he's wide awake and keeping the rest of the Timberwolves awake. They're starting to howl a little bit now. Starting to get hungry like the wolf, like Duran Duran used to sing.
You know, there was a ring around the moon when we came in here tonight.
Was it full?
No, not quite. Seeley makes the 3-point play.
And that's a good sign for Portland then.
79-75. It's a 4-point Blazers lead. And the crowd making a lot of noise now. Good crowd here tonight.
Ooh, Kevin Garnett gets away with a push. You got to be careful. He's going to pick up his fifth right here. Watch this.
Walt Williams. Oh, I thought he had one there. Off the foot of one of the Wolves, and the Blazers will get it. Sam Mitchell couldn't hang on. He drops his mouthpiece. 79-75, timeout. We'll be right back.
Attention, TLC has TV's Alien Invasion Week.
People see things in the sky, strange things they can't explain. Sometimes they turn out to be hoaxes or cases of mistaken identity. Some sightings really are a mystery.
But usually there's a very easy explanation. Hi, I'm French Stewart, and I'm settling in for a little alien invasion week.
Beginning tonight at 8.
TLC, alien adventures for your mind.
Earn a free Blazers ticket with Flavor Pack and Gatorade. It's easy. Just buy 2 packages of Flavor Pack, Just Add Mix, or 3 packages of Flavor Pack Stir Fry varieties. Or pick up 2 32-ounce bottles of Gatorade Fierce Lime or Melon and 1 20-ounce 4-pack of Gatorade Riptide Rush sports bottles. Then mail proofs of purchase to Blazers Choice. Look for the Blazers Choice ad in the Oregonian's Food Day section for complete rules and details. Earn free Blazers tickets with Gatorade, Flavor Pack, and the Blazers.
This Friday the 5th, the Blazers and Wolves get to it again, broadcast on HDTV and sponsored by the Good Guys in Mitsubishi. Limited viewing available at any Good Guys location Friday at 7. Of course, the first West Coast play-by-play HDTV broadcast, and this is the new television viewing experience, HDTV. There's the fella, Rasheed Wallace. The Blazers have got to try and get back into the offensive scheme. Well, 14 points in the first quarter. He's had 4 since.
Well, if they're going to post him up like they did the last time, he's got to go a little quicker and not wait for the defense to get there.
Jimmy Jackson on the inbound over Dean Garrett. And Jackson with 9. 81-75. Jackson's a very good and always has been baseline shooter.
Yeah, he's got that feeling tonight. He and Rasheed Wallace both have a nice touch going, so keep looking for him.
Malik to Garnett, look for the brush screen, but nobody's sliced by. Give it to Marbury.
See, whenever Minnesota gets in trouble, they just give it to this guy.
Walt helped, no recovery. And Marbury on the miss. Look at them fight for the loose change, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Wolves, according to Terry Durham. From McMinnville, home of the Linfield Wildcats.
And Charlie Sitton, and also Scott Brocious, right?
That's it. Brocious is down in spring training. Wallace on the pin down, and they pop Wallace out, trying to set him up. Another foul by Minnesota. Congratulations to Linfield. Had a great year this year, won their conference. Outstanding season. Stephon Marbury picks up his 4th foul, and that means he joins Garnett with 4.
Going back to Jim Jackson because he's hot. Smart move.
Wallace on the slash, to the rack, around the cup. Won't go. Walt Williams ran to the Giants, tries it again, on the cup again, and Wallace tries to go over the top and is called for the loose ball foul. And that'll be 5 on Rasheed.
Okay, now he's got to be careful. Mike's going to have a decision to make here. Should he take him out? I would take him out because if this game goes down to the wire, you want to keep Rasheed in the game, be able to put him back in a little bit later. They're working hard, these Blazers, going after those second and third shots. And now Rasheed's going to come back and guard Kevin Garnett. He's got 5. Minnesota was smart. They go after Rasheed down the low post with Garnett. There he is.
6-point game. There they are. Rasheed, played by Garnett. Tries to quick him. He needs to get help. Cato's in position. Back to an open Mitchell. He can shoot it. Not this time. And the rebound by Jimmy. Jackson with the ball. Jackson on the bring up. Give it to Walt. On the cut through. They've got it. They're supposed to go to Cato. Ball loose. Jimmy Jackson could stop stealing. And Rasheed comes out, knocks the ball away.
I thought he was gone. Wow.
Is he gambling? Walt Williams on the drive. He's got a left-hand finger roll. Beautifully done as he scoops to the hoop, and the Blazers lead by 8.
What a play by Rasheed Wallace with 5 fouls on him. He took a chance to go for that steal, create that turnover.
That is a big play right there by Rasheed.
It sure was.
The Timberwolves on the shot by Bobby Jackson on the miss, and the rebound, the Blazers.
Right.
We're down under 8 minutes to play in this one.
Next dead ball situation, Mike Dunleavy's going to get Rasheed out of the game.
Hang on wherever you are. Jimmy Jackson. Jackson tries to come to the middle. They double him up. They seal him off. Back to Wallace. Step around. Steps into the middle. The Wizard with a good move. Wallace with a deep shot. Oh, how deep is that?
That was about 25 feet.
Oh, my goodness, a parking lot job. And the ice around the igloo is rolling down in puddles now. 86-75. Blazers in a timeout.
If you've always wanted a down comforter, but you're not sure what to look for, Fred Meyer makes it easy. Comforters with high-quality features like white goose down, baffle construction for greater loft, and high thread count fabric covers. Choose from everyday living, HD design, or the premium quality of Hollander. Down comfort. You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
The RAV4. Stocks for everyone. Only you.
H2O in a solidified form. When heated, becomes liquefied. Any questions? I invented static electricity. A tendency to replicate the amount of thrust produced by a jet engine.
People who love what they do just do it better. Alaska Airlines. For the same price, you just get more.
Our BP move of the game. A series of them here. Look at the steal by Rasheed Wallace. Gambling with his fifth foul. And Jimmy Jackson will get the ball down deep. And Walt Williams with a scoop to the hoop. Sensational play. And now Rasheed, he'll get the ball back on top. And Michael, he shoots this one from the Radisson, and that's 3 blocks away.
Yeah, that was from the Metrodome. That's even 4. That's further away.
And BP will keep you moving. And the Blazers with another steal. Big turnover there at the 7:20 mark by the Wolves.
Yeah, Seeley threw the ball too quickly before Kevin Garnett was able to get set.
Rasheed with a big steal and a big 3. And Ryder trying to catch up with a tough pass to handle, and he couldn't do it. That was a very, very difficult pass to handle. Blazers on a 7-0 run at the right time. Runs of what done it is what has done it for him tonight.
Yeah, and Minnesota, they'll make another run, but they get close. 2 or 3 points, they even tied it up, but they just can't seem to get over the hump. Portland's been able to fight them off every time.
Malik Seeley inside to Garnett. Puts it down, challenges Cato. Kelvin stays with him. Garnett lost it, picked up by Grant. Leave it for Jimmy. And Jimmy will drop leave feed for Greg Anthony.
Greg Anthony helped down that time and slapped it out of Garnett's hand before he got it over his head.
Crossover, takes it left. JJ will go down to Cato. Back down on Garnett. Big turnaround. Oh, boy, there is a gutsy move by the second-year guy, Kelvin Cato, and that puts the Blazers up on top, 88-75.
Yeah, Minnesota's about to get discouraged in another minute or so if this keeps up.
And they're getting a little careless with the ball now. They're going to bring Stephon Marbury back into the game as Sam Mitchell comes out. Bobby Jackson will step away, and Anthony Peeler will come in.
Watch Kelvin Cato with this post move. Right in rhythm. This nice little fadeaway of Hakeem Olajuwon dream shake type move there. Over a nice shot blocker in Kevin Garnett.
Cato with 8 points in the game. Marbury. Anthony stays with him, and Peeler, the dealer, will try and miss, and Grant will get the rebound. Peeler's not played a lot tonight. He took an elbow in the throat against the Knicks this past Thursday night. And was slowed up considerably. Ryder, stop and go. In the lane, show and tell. Won't make it. Blocked on the reject. Anthony took it away. Back to Jackson. Smooth-looking stroke. Off the rebound. It's off the hand of Joe Smith.
I'm surprised Jim Jackson missed that shot the way he's been shooting tonight.
Mike Dunleavy still not breathing easy. We're 5:58 away from a big win if they can hang on.
Oh, he can relax. Minnesota doesn't have the offensive firepower to catch up. Only 2 guys have been able to get it for him. That's Garnett and Marbury, and 2 guys can't be 5.
Blazers having to take the Wolves' best shot, and Ryder stripped for the foul.
Unless J.R. starts doing that too often.
And Steely will put it in. Well, that could be a 4-point swing. It's 88-77, Blazers by 11.
Yeah, as good as the Blazers have been moving the ball all night, no reason for J.R. to pound it that long. If you don't have the shot within 2 or 3 seconds, give it up.
And then he has one block. As he decided to quick shoot it, Marbury around Ryder, takes to the rack, no follow-up attempt. Cato got in the way. Smith, Cato, and Jimmy Jackson fighting for possession. And it'll come back to the Timberwolves.
And Mike's Dunleavy screaming at J.R. right now, telling him, hey, settle down. Let's get some other people involved. So Mike's trying to let J.R. know that's not acceptable.
And Peeler is fouled by J.R. Ryder.
J.R.'s out of control, so Mike might try to get him out of the game. But he's already got Jim Jackson out there, so he might just let J.R. stay for another minute or two, see if he's going to settle down.
5:14 to play. These are big, big hoops, every one of them.
Yeah, every possession counts now, especially for the Timberwolves. They've got to try to shut Portland down and then create the offense on their side. So Portland still has the upper hand if they just maintain their poise, use some clock, and don't take all these quick shots.
Here's Peeler playing more minutes in that Toronto game than he's played here tonight. He has 21 minutes in this game. He had 15 points against Toronto, and a good free throw shooter makes them both. Well, Blazers had a chance to take it up 13. Actually, they had it at 13, a chance to go to 15. They've given away a couple as Grant is held in the lane. Ball bang loose. Ball on the floor. Jimmy Jackson. Ryder, ball bang back in the backcourt. Ryder will pick it up and take it over. No violation and a running foul by J.R. Ryder. I think Dunleavy's going to make a change.
Yeah, Rasheed's coming in, but he's coming in for Kelvin Cato. Damon's going to come back in, and I bet you he's probably coming for J.R. He'll leave Jim Jackson out there.
88-79. Blazers cannot afford to cave here, as Damon at the scoring table has not been beckoned yet.
Well, so it looks like when he does come in, he'll come in for Greg Anthony.
Marbury, Seeley, Marbury against Anthony. Inside they go to Garnett. Backs down on Wallace. He's got...
Tough shot.
And remember, Rasheed playing with 5 fouls, and now it's a 7-point ball game.
Portland's still in control. Minnesota's making their run like we knew they would, Eddie. So this is no big deal. This is not unexpected.
But they are at 4:25 to play. And Garnett coming over and knocking the pass for Rasheed away and out of bounds. So 10 seconds on the shot clock. And Ryder will come out of the ball game, and Stoudamire will come in.
There's Kevin Garnett. This is a tough shot. Falling away from the basket. Rasheed Wallace all in his face, doing as best he can do without picking up that 6. And when a guy makes a shot like that, you know, more power to him.
He took it in the middle, got it back. Jimmy Jackson with a 3. Damon with a great assist, and it's 91-81 with 4:09 to play.
Those kind of shots, see what I mean? Talking about Blazers are in control of this, even though Minnesota is making the run.
Long rebound, that's Smith, and that's Garnett. Nice pass by Joe Smith.
Just keep using the clock now, Portland. Pass the ball around, get it to your ball handlers.
Anthony and Damon in the game, and that's the reason why both those point guards are in there. Handle the ball. See if they can get some kind of a semblance of calm out there.
There you go. Now move quickly. Don't be pounding the ball too long on the dribble.
There's Rasheed pumping. Watch out for his 6th foul. And Damon on the base. Damon with a tough shot. That angle behind the basket on the left baseline. And Stoudamire makes it 93-83.
There goes Rasheed. He's out of the game.
Oh, that hurts. That's 3:24, and he's done.
Yeah, that was a bad foul. He had no reason to do that. He had Marbury a long way from the basket. So, well, maybe not. He's still in the game.
No, I thought we had him. No, we didn't have him for that minute. He's still got fouls left. Joe Smith.
So, sorry about that, Rasheed. We had you for 5, and I guess Rasheed knew better than us. He knew we only had 4.
Yeah, well, mistake. 93-85. Anthony. 3 minutes to play. Bumped by Peeler. Let's check these fouls to make sure we're good here. Grant with 3. Wallace with 4 now is what they're telling us. 3 for Sabonis, 3 for Ryder. Garnett and Marbury and Curley all have 4 for Minnesota.
Oh, we were way off on Rasheed.
Yeah, we were. Apologize. Jackson. Anthony on the penetration. Kick ball picked up by Stoudamire. Tough shot. Wow!
That's the game winner right there.
Whoa, baby!
That is tough for Minnesota.
95 to 83.
No matter what they do.
85.
Portland's winning all the little scrums, picking up all the hustle plays.
Peeler inside on the post out. Be a foul call on the play as they knock the Blazers' little man down, Stoudamire. Peeler will be at the line on the way back in a lead of 10.
Amor, my love. Amor, make life divine.
Tuesday, the Jazz tickets on sale. They're tough. 797-9600. Order now. Representatives are there to take your order. The Utah Jazz on Tuesday night. Blazers playing nice basketball. Come on down and give them a little help. And it should be fun. 95-85 is our score. Damon Stoudamire has hit the last 2 hoops for the Blazers, and they have been huge baskets to open up a 10-point lead. The Blazers, incidentally, on that last foul, Michael, have put themselves over the limit, and now the Wolves will be shooting the penalty. They have 1 to give before they go to the 2-minute mark.
No big deal, because just don't foul anybody and stop the clock, because that's what Minnesota wants. They want to create fouls so they can stop the clock and give them some time. So all Portland has to do is play defense with their feet, don't reach, don't get caught out of position. I know it's easier said than done, but really concentrated here in the last 2.5 minutes.
Blazers with good clock management. They've got 3 timeouts and a 20 remaining. Wallace is still in the game. We had him going bye-bye. Now that happens. Damon trapped at midcourt.
Doing his Curly Neal impression there, the dribbling.
He gets to Anthony, and that's why he's out there. Damon and Anthony at the throttle.
Portland has 3 ball handlers on the floor for him, and he includes Jim Jackson, too.
Anthony along the base. Jimmy on the corner. Jimmy with a miss. Brian Grant with an attempt to get the rebound and a foul on a reach.
Now Rasheed's going.
No, this is 5.
Rasheed Wallace is 6.
No, that is 6, so he had been on.
We've been off on Rasheed all night, but the Blazers haven't been off on the score, that's for sure. They've been definitely knocking it down when it counts.
Well, we get our numbers from a higher source, and once in a while they're wrong, too.
he is? That's news to me. Must be George Wash you're talking about, right?
No.
Not George?
George hasn't done anything.
That's right. George is never wrong.
95-86, the Blazers with a lead and 2:03 to play, and that is it for Rasheed Wallace.
Well, Rasheed is out, but they replaced him with Sabonis, who obviously is a good post-up player and a fine free-throw shooter, so it shouldn't hurt Portland too much.
2:03 to play, and we're seeing out of the Wolves what we saw a little bit out of the Blazers last night in that game at Washington when they missed 6 out of 9 free throws in that stretch run.
Tonight, Wolves missing these free throws, the way the Portland is executing. The Blazers bought the silver bullet tonight. They can't lose their Wolves.
95-87, still 2 minutes to play. Damon has to go high. Used the sideline like a wide receiver. Ran that out pattern and pulled it in. And then the Blazers get the ball back over into the attacking zone with under 2 to play.
Get into Arvidas. Look who's got on him. He's got the stick man on him. Outweighs him by 140 pounds.
There he goes to the rack. Block shot. Boy, there's a quick recovery, huh?
Yeah.
Marbury on the attack. Marbury, if it goes, no! That would have counted. He'll go to the line to earn a pair. And it's getting dangerously close at 95-87. 95-87. Marbury can cut into the lead with 1:39 to play.
Minnesota's going to come back out of these free throws with another trap, another press. Get the ball to Damon and Greg Anthony, and the big guys make themselves available in the middle of the floor. Do that and move the ball crisply without too much dribbling. You can easily end up with a layup on the other end.
Now here's a guy that's got a little hot dog in his game, but he uses it under control. Marbury is really impressive for a 22-year-old. Grant, give it to Damon. Swarms by the crowd. Pulls it out of congestion. Going to have to set up a little housekeeping here and try and use some clock. Down to 1.5 minutes. Very good. Inside to Arvidas. Got plenty of time. He was hacked inside and he is fouled. He will go to the line Willie? Nope, they had one to give. That's their first under 2 minutes. That's the third on Seeley, but this is a very good foul here by Flip Saunders and the Wolves. Blazers, however, get the 24-second clock and inbound the ball with 1:23. Uh-oh. And Arvidas, no look, Jackson blocked. Saved by the Wolves. Exceptional athleticism.
Watch out for the three. He'll shoot it.
That's Peeler. And Grant can't get it. Jackson tries to save and does. Throws it back into Damon Stoudamire, but Jimmy slid out of bounds.
These guys are acting like they want this win, aren't they? Both teams. A great hustle out there.
And the call, which was made by Dan Crawford, overruled by Terry Durham. And Mike Dunleavy is now contesting, talking to Dan. He said, hey, wait a minute. You said he was okay. Durham said he wasn't. He wins, we lose. 95-89. 1:05 to play in regulation.
Oh, don't worry about that right now. You got to try to come up with some defensive scheme here to make sure Minnesota doesn't get a look at a three-point shot. Because I'm sure that's what Phil Saunders is diagramming over there for the Timberwolves. You want to give up a quick three. If they do score, make sure it's a 2, not a 3.
Blazers and Jazz, Tuesday. 797-9600. The tickets are affordable, and operators are there to take your calls. Well, let's look at this. The Blazers, 28% is what the Timberwolves shoot outside the 3 line. Marbury's a 26%er, Peeler a 29%er, and Seeley their best at 36%, but he doesn't shoot that many.
Yeah, they could cut us off. They could call us out there. We could do that.
95-89. Blazers with a lead. Wolves with the ball. Rasheed is fouled out of the game after a phenomenal performance here tonight. Jackson is saying, hey, wait a minute. Jimmy Jackson is contesting something, and he may have the answer. The officials are making a gesture toward the scoring table. I'm not sure what it is.
I think Jimmy was saying that they shouldn't have 24 seconds on the clock.
They don't. It's 22 seconds.
Oh, big difference.
Marbury on a high screen by Garnett. Three-pointer. Stephon Marbury. Big rebound, Jimmy Jackson. He has been solid all night long. Jackson with 12 points, 4 rebounds. Up to Brian Grant. Looks for help. Gets to Damon. Down under a minute to play. Damon with the ball. Challenged by Coney Island Marbury. No foul call. Goes backdoor in a crowd. Finger hole. Uh-oh. Grant can't get it. Garnett's got it. Marbury slashes. Tries to put it up. Good if it goes. Fouled. He'll go to the line. 95-89. A 6-point Blazers lead.
Yeah, well, 2 points really does Minnesota no good here unless Portland just makes a tragic mistake and throws the ball away on the inbounds pass. Marbury coming down, trying to create a 3-point play by taking the ball into Jimmy Jackson, and Arvidas throws it up. Almost went in, but he threw it up a little too strong.
This is a great test for the Blazers against a solid team at home. Their 3rd game in 3 nights on the road, their 4th in 5 nights. This is a team that has beaten San Antonio twice this season.
You're right, Eddie. I mean, this is a huge win. Like you say, 3 games and 3 nights on the road. You come away 3-1 on a 4-game trip. Plus going home to face probably your toughest competition.
95-91. You got timeouts. You got the whole baseline. Brian Grant is tied up and fouled, and now they are over the limit.
Well, they're up 4, so you'd like to see him make 2, but even one out of 2 would be good enough.
That is number 5 on Kevin Garnett. Garnett has had 17 points. He's below his season average. 23 points tonight for Stephon Marbury.
The only way Blazers can lose this game is if they all turn into Chris Dudley at the line.
Brian Grant with 2 shots.
Or Vin Baker, I should say. He's shooting them worse than Dudley lately.
Take your time here. This is where you flex, take a deep breath, plenty of time. And that's how it works.
Oh, you're a good coach, Eddie. Man. I got to put you over there next to Gergerich. You'd be over there telling those guys the same thing.
Well,
I don't want to do that. I'd miss you too much over here. Me and Steve would miss you too much.
96-91. Thank you, Michael. 32.9 seconds remain. That's no good.
That's all right.
And they immediately call a timeout, and they're down now to 1-20. No 20. One timeout for them. The Blazers still have 3-20. It is 96-91. Rasheed is gone. took his 22 points to the side, but what a 22 it was. Big steal and a big three down the stretch when they needed it. Wallace also had 4 rebounds and 6 assists. And he's been helped by his teammates. Jimmy Jackson with a solid game. Damon coming alive here in the fourth quarter. 13 points. Big second half. He had 2 at halftime, so 11 in the second half. Ryder with 17, but nothing in the fourth quarter. And Jimmy Jackson with 12 big hoops and some key rebounds.
Look at that tattoo on that body art on Rasheed Wallace. I heard a poll of 35% of basketball players in the NBA have tattoos in the league, but Rasheed's tattoo represents him as the king sitting on the throne. And then the lady in his tattoo, the picture there is his wife, Fatima. She's the queen. And he has his 3 sons at the foot of the throne. Malik, Ishmael, and Nazir are the 3 little subjects there at his feet. So that's kind of cool, huh? A little sort of an Egyptian motif.
Did you do the homework on that one? Or
No, I asked him. He was over to my house one time. I said, Rasheed, what's all that mean? And he explained that it represents the Egyptian way of life, where he's the king, the pharaoh, and his wife, Fatima, is the queen, and the 3 subjects.
That's
JJ.
Well, I guess you get the idea there.
Doesn't that remind you of the opening of the Blazer Vision stuff, where they're coming with the flaming basketball like a comet?
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Zips all over the stick.
So he got that idea from Pat and George back in the booth. I want one of those. All right, now what's
wait a minute. Or maybe they got the idea from him.
That's right. He ought to sue Pat and George for copyright infringement or something.
Hey. Anyway.
Now what Portland needs to do here is, obviously Minnesota wants to score quickly. You got to do 3 things. Contest all the 3s. Make sure nobody gets to look at a 3. Number 2, make them use some clock. And if they do score, even if it's a 2-pointer, contest it and make it a tough shot.
All right, Joe Smith will come back. He's got a tattoo on his chest that says The Beast. He's in there with Garnett, Stephon Marbury, Peeler the Dealer, and Malik Sealy. Kelvin Cato, Grant, Jimmy Jackson. Who else do we have out there for Portland? Hiding behind that screen over there. Greg Anthony, a good defender. And Augman pressuring the inbound pass. 32.6 seconds remaining in regulation. They need a quick score. They go for it right away. Blazers need a big rebound, and who gets it? The biggest of all the rebounders, Brian Grant.
You got a foul.
That's the guy you want to foul. 94% shooter, Wall Street Jimmy. And the body is just about out of line.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, man, it's easy to get elected and try to win this game. There's Kevin McHale, who's not real happy right now.
Maylocks. He just dropped a couple of Maylocks.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, he always was a winner, and losing this game at home in this shortened season is tough on him.
Well, they start to pour out of the portals here. The T-Wolves, coming into this game, were 6-0 at home. And Jimmy Jackson has just put a little icing on the cake, maybe, huh? 97-91. The second big contribution in a row for Jimmy Jackson as he pours home 2. 98-91.
That's what you call the syrup on the pancakes, baby.
That's it. And that's a tall stack of cakes we're working on tonight. 98-91. Blazers and Wolves with 23.3 remaining in regulation. And won't this be a sweet win coming off this road trip where they could have very easily won all 4. They had a shot at it in Charlotte, coming back 25 down. And they're feeling good right now. This Friday, the Blazers and Wolves will try it again in Portland. And it'll be on HDTV. Sponsored by the Good Guys in Mitsubishi. Limited viewing available at any Good Guys location Friday at 7. The first West Coast play-by-play HDTV broadcast. The new television viewing experience. We make a little history again, huh?
HDTV. You got one of those in your house, Eddie?
I got a 12-inch screen with a magnifying lens in my house.
And the knob's broken off, right?
And the rabbit ears.
You need a pliers to change the channel, right, Eddie?
Tim Gergerich has got that full wall screen at his house.
Well, the one thing about this kind of wind makes the ride home to Portland tonight a lot quicker. You'll be facing those headwinds, and the jet stream sort of slows you up, but these guys won't even notice that. They'll be so happy to get home after a big 3-in-1 trip.
We'll be high enough they could fly without the plane. They will be happy. This is a terrific win.
Yeah, after this win, Portland's 9-3 after this win, just like I predicted they would be, by the way, about 4 weeks ago. Not to blow my own horn there. I think they are at first place in the Pacific right now, a game ahead of I think the Lakers and Seattle.
Yep.
And it puts them a game back of Utah for the best record in the West.
Now, there's good management again. This happened last night. Blazers doing an outstanding job, forcing the other team to take their timeouts and still standing in reserve with 3 and a 20. That is good work. 98-91. Trailblazers by 7.
Well, when you're playing well, you don't have to call a lot of timeouts. Portland played well today.
And they got a lot of help from a lot of people, including Cato and Jermaine at times. As Seeley, Mitchell, Smith, Stefan, and Anthony Peeler are out there on the floor. In case you're wondering, Garnett fouled out on that last foul. So he's gone. They don't have him. Joe Smith over Cato, and Cato does a good job of getting a piece of the ball, sailing it back into play. Brian Grant out ahead to Cato. Oh, my goodness. You know what that's called?
What?
The water circling the drain.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've already left the ring in the bathtub and everything a long time ago.
Oh, man, is that sweet. And Marbury puts one up for naught. And the Blazers have come in here and beaten the undefeated at-home Minnesota Timberwolves and have now upped their record to 9-3 and 4-3 on the road. I'm telling you, you got to be happy about the way this team played. Meanwhile, Malik Seeley got hurt on the far side across the way. I don't know if we can pick him up. He's on the floor. There he is, being tended to. And he is hobbling.
Adding injury to insult.
Yeah, on the last play, and really a situation that didn't make any difference, and that would be tough to lose somebody like him. The final, Blazers 100. Wolves, not howling now, 93.
What did your money do today?
Blazers took the best shot that the Timberwolves could throw at them here in the fourth quarter. They saw this thing slip down to 3. And eventually the Blazers put it back on the floor and got themselves a Husky lead and hung on down the stretch with just sheer aggression and biting down on the old lip a little bit and going after it. When you knew they were tired, this has been a rigorous stretch for them, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They really came up with it at the right time tonight. This was really an impressive win.
Yeah, they came out with the right attitude. I mean, the guys know they're tired, they're beat up, but they figure, hey, look, since we're here, we might as well go to work. That's the right attitude to come out with. It makes it, like I said, it makes the ride home a lot shorter. Makes Tuesday's game coming up with Utah even sweeter. People will come to the Rose Garden now on Tuesday expecting and anticipating big things. A huge matchup. I mean, that game's going to be for first place in the Western Conference.
Yeah, all good. And, boy, execution-wise, that Utah team is just sensational, almost flawless. And what makes it worse, you got a day off tomorrow, but you got Utah at home Tuesday and then back on the road Wednesday against Sacramento. So it isn't going to be easy. Need a little support. Tickets available. See you down there at the Garden on Tuesday night. Final here, Blazers 100, T-Wolves 93.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by GTE, proud sponsor of the Portland Trailblazers. By Toyota, get the most out of your day every day. And by Nike, who advises you March Madness, it's spreading.
Has been a sports presentation. Tonight's pregame show is brought to you by Tony Roma's Restaurants.
It was melted. Yeah, it melted right around us. We better get out of here before we have to take a boat out. But the Blazers came up with a huge effort here tonight. And they got out of the blocks in big fashion. And that surprised me, quite frankly, after the effort that they put in at Washington last night traveling over here. They outscored the Wolves 29-19 on the strength of a terrific first quarter by Rasheed Wallace. He ended up with 14 points in this first quarter.
Yeah, he came out starting at small forward tonight against the big front line against the Timberwolves, and Rasheed got the feeling early. Came in early today, did his shooting before the game, and definitely paid off the way he came out and worked inside, outside, picked up loose balls around the basket, jammed them home. Just basically had a good time in the first half.
And he ends up with 22 points for the game, which is a season high for Rasheed Wallace before he fouled out at the end of the game. But no shot was bigger than the three-pointer he made after he was in foul trouble down here at the end, and then he comes back and makes the big steal. Meanwhile, J.R. Ryder had to make his contribution, and he did.
Well, J.R. had a good time coming back to his old haunting grounds up here in Minnesota. This is where he broke into the league, and they traded him away. And every time that happens, and you get a chance to play against your old team, that pumps you up a little bit more. And before the game, Isaiah was ready to play, and he showed it. He played with a lot of energy. He got a little bit out of control in the second half, but for the most part, for 3.5 quarters, he really was into the flow of the game, had his jump shot working, and every time Minnesota made a run, J.R. came back with an answer, was able to curtail the Minnesota run.
And he even took a little bump on the side of the head there. Fought that
He's a
off.
tough guy. He's a big, strong guy. He can handle it.
He came back real nice. But Jimmy Jackson last night had to step in when J.R. was suspended. He did a wonderful job. Tonight, he gets called on off the bench, and again, he responds beautifully.
Well, Jim Jackson knows his role in his team. He comes in tonight and shoots 5 of 11 off the bench and took 14 points. Plays an all-around game. Plays some tough defense against the Minnesota guards, Anthony Peeler and Malik Sealy. Whenever Portland needed a big shot, he was able to knock it down. So excellent work off the bench tonight for Jim Jackson. And he was the guy who crushed Minnesota's hopes in the second half with a lot of big-time jumpers from the outside, resulting from assists from Damon Stoudamire.
So a nice job again by Jimmy Jackson. And then, of course, you had to go to the big guy because you're playing against a team that is not overly bulky up front. And Arvydas Sabonis has had big games against Minnesota. And again tonight, when they got them the ball, he was doing his thing pretty nicely. He ends up with 13 points and 8 rebounds.
Well, he was just picking his spots. Whenever Portland needed to go inside to punish the smaller lineup up front for Minnesota, he was able to get some results for Portland. He was just killing Bill Curley inside. He was just too big for Bill Curley or Joe Smith or any Dean Garrett, anybody to handle tonight.
When we come back, we'll have an interview with Greg Anthony. Blazers win this one in Mini.
To enter the Fran's Ultimate Blazers Party, look for specially marked loaves of Fran's Premium White Bread, or mail us a 3x5 card with your name. You might win the ultimate prize, a party in a Rose Garden suite during a Blazers game. Pick up loaves with Fran's Premium White Bread today.
Back we are here at the Target Center. I call it the Igloo. You know, we're up here in the upper Midwest. And with us is Greg Anthony. Greg, like the rest of the Blazers, Rasheed Wallace and the rest of his mates had a wonderful game here tonight. You didn't have what you might call a conspicuous line, but you did the little things that helped to win. And quite frankly, I was impressed with the way they came out here after that big effort last night.
I thought tonight we played extremely well, a lot of tenacity on the defensive end, and we gave ourselves opportunities. I think when you come out and set a tone defensively, which we did in the first quarter, you allow yourselves to play some good basketball and build confidence. It's difficult to play, 3 nights consecutively, but our guys showed a lot of strength and courage and confidence, and I feel real fortunate to be a part of this win tonight.
Doesn't it make it a lot easier when you know you can come out and give it all you have on the floor, knowing that you're not going to be out there for 30 straight minutes because you have such good depth on the team?
That, and also, as Eddie was mentioning, a lot of times you don't have to concern yourself with trying to necessarily always score. You can just do little things to help your team win basketball games. It could be hustle plays, it may be deflections, it may be charges, just taking a defensive stop. A lot of little things will come together to allow you to win a basketball game. So I felt real good about that, and Rasheed Wallace played extremely well. I heard you guys mention Jim Jackson played really well, and Arvydas. JR had some good moments, and also I thought Damon shot the ball really well for us in the fourth quarter to get his stroke back. So it was just an effort by everybody.
All right, thank you, Greg, for stopping by. Don't forget now, enter the First to 20 contest at your Northwest Dodge dealer today. If your name is drawn and you correctly pick the first Blazers player to score 20 points, you'll win $1,000, courtesy of your Northwest Dodge dealer. Our thanks to Greg Anthony for coming by. Nice interview with him. Blazers a big win tonight.
Hi, you've reached Robert.
They got it done. They took everybody's best shot here tonight. They were down. They came back. They hung on, and they win 3 of 4 on the road trip. And they win this fourth game on the trip against the toughest opponent, a very good Minnesota team.
When a sunflower seed, Rasheed was throwing it at us. But no, Portland did the right thing. They finished up 3-1, Eddie. Everybody thought that they'd probably lose a game on this trip, but they figured tonight might be the game they'd lose, but they did a great job bouncing back.
Utah Tuesday, we'll see you then. From Michael Ahmedi, big win in Mini.
Tonight's pregame show has been brought to you by voice stream...